Yeah, I was shocked. I don't care.
I know you don't care. I'm just saying though that was just, and they're reissuing the first version and not the second version. Hey, Matt.
Was it a fixed version or something?
No, the second version was a slightly different paint job, had more metallic paint on the thrusters, and the legs were still metallic, but it had matching paint on the thrusters and stuff. Yeah, hey Matt, my target got in it's got like a Marvel ink cap. It has that entire venomized wave of Marvel Legends. It's like there's not a single figure that I even want.
No,
not a single figure. I will admit the Into the Spider-Verse wave. Yeah. I do kind of want that Gwen Stacy.
Well, the Spider Gwen.
Spider Gwen. Yeah, I do kind of want that Spider Gwen.
I hate that Peter Parker. I hate it.
But why? But Frogman.
No, I hate the Peter Parker. The reason I hate Spider-Verse Peter Parker is one reason only. It's because I'm a sometimes pedant. Because he's supposed to be he's supposed to be 616 Peter Parker, but he's clearly not 616 Peter Parker.
Well, I thought he was supposed to be Fox Kids Peter Parker. One thing I read.
Actually, but when it shows the universe he's coming from, it said 616, which has to mean the Spider-Verse, the universe that Miles is in. That's what the designation they use for 616 is the designation they use for the Fox Kids version or whatever, but it's not 616 Peter Parker. That gets on my nerves.
Yeah,
he could be 666 Peter Parker.
Yeah. But here's the thing, Matt. I was going to ask you this. Why Frogman?
Why not Frogman?
Why not?
Because you talk about my favorite characters being C and D listers. When's the last? It's just like I equate Frogman to like D-Man or
3D Man.
No, just regular D-Man.
I mean, if they're going to throw in a weird one-off character or something that makes no sense, do from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, the video game villain. Well, I can't remember his name right now.
Ness requests food talk for pre-show. I had grocery store sushi for dinner. Does that count?
I had pad thai.
Same neighborhood.
That counts for food poisoning.
Yeah. My girlfriend, we got girlfriend. Yes, she surprised me with dinner because I wound up working an hour and a half late again today.
Oh boy!
Yep, we found a new brand of turkey sausage, and she made turkey sausage patties, scrambled some eggs, and so we had basically scrambled eggs and sausage sandwiches on low carb wraps.
I mean, this is the real long term benefit of you having a living girlfriend, Don, which is that you're eating like actual people food now.
Hey Don, you may like this. I don't know. It may be not good for your digestive tract, and I hate to talk about your digestive tract in pre-show. But something I found recently, something I found recently is it's wraps, but it's just like a gigantic thin slice of cheese.
Yeah, I have seen them.
They work great.
Cheese has never bothered. I have never had a problem. I mean, I have ate a 2-pound brick of Velveeta in 2 days.
Cheese. Hey John, how you doing? Are you feeling okay?
Well, he unmuted and it was just completely silent, so I think that's kind of a net neutral.
Yeah. Hey Don, while I'm thinking about it, what's the damage on the rest of the metalhead?
Just don't worry about it. It's a wash, pretty much within $2 or $3. So I'm not gonna worry about it.
I will name a child after you. They may not.
One of the ones you have, or like one in the future.
Not one of his children.
One I find on the street randomly.
Oh,
hey Don, how are you doing, little Don?
Yes, thank you, Video Man. I thought he had like
A creative
no.
name?
No, yeah, because the Zax was the electrical being that was a Hulk villain, and Swarm was the living swarm of bees that were Nazis. I think.
No, not the bees.
Bees, my God.
Nazi bees.
Oh no, Nazi bees.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just remember Swarm was in one of the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That's what I wanted, a Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends set.
Well, they
That would
did
be
that
kinda-
for Marvel Universe, remember?
Yeah, I've got the 3 3/4 inch set.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they should do that.
That's not even that much of a reach, honestly.
No,
It would just
they
be
have all the molds already.
Well,
it'd
see,
just be
I kinda,
convincing some stupid retailer to actually take such
Yeah.
a thing on.
well,
Or
here's the thing. Here's the
Comic-Con.
thing. Yeah, here's the thing I came up with. They should do for Pulse, and I'm sure they have enough molds that they can use, not have a whole lot of stuff. Do a Marvel 80s TV movie lineup. Do like
David
the
Banner.
do a David Banner and a Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno Hulk and Bill Bixby Banner. Do that Spider-Man from the same series that was coming on at that time. Do the Thor and the
Return of the
Donald
Incredible
Blake.
Hulk. Yes.
Yeah, Thor. That
Incredible
Thor
Hulk
and
returns,
yeah, and
Daredevil
the
from
Daredevil
the
from
Trial
Trial
of
of the Incredible Hulk.
the
Yes.
Incredible
Yeah.
Hulk.
yeah, I'm saying do all of the Marvel 80s characters. I mean, they're Marvel.
And Captain America.
Spider-Man was
Yeah, acting
Yeah.
like this might be an issue, but
well, yeah.
Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
yeah,
80,
Wait, hey-
was that 87? Is that when that came out? Something like that? Yeah, that would count.
something like that.
Hey,
Maybe
You know what?
I can't remember.
where'd you get
David
the Tier 1
Hasselhoff,
diecast?
Nick Fury. We need a David Hasselhoff, Nick
It's a
Fury.
shame they didn't go farther with that.
That's a word for it.
Now I agree with Captain Rufus. I do like Firestar's 90s New Warriors outfit, but I think I like her original outfit better.
Her birthday suit. Is that what you're saying, Don?
No, the red. You know, what she was wearing in Spider-Man and Her Amazing Friends.
Oh.
That was yellow.
Yeah.
You called it red.
No. I was saying it had some red at the. It had some red on her
Around the
gloves, I think.
Yeah, but it was a yellow suit.
Yeah.
primarily yellow. Yes,
Don called it red.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Leave me alone. I'm old. Leave me alone. But I'm saying that would be a
I'm
really
also
cool.
tired and feel old, Don.
Yeah.
But I'm neither too tired nor too old to be pedantic at you.
Chris, did you see my email?
Yeah, that's kind of
Weird.
random. Someone
Weird,
in
yeah.
Discord had mentioned that before I got the email, though.
What was
I
it?
was like, why just that one?
Because that's what they found some inventory of.
Is Rob
Yeah.
coming around?
I don't know that he's not coming on,
Okay.
which is all I can really offer you.
Oh, Diecast. I saw you put in the chat. She's doing better. She's home.
Okay,
And
good.
actually, she's basically mostly recovered at this point. She went back to daycare today.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Diecast, did you see where they reissued Phoenix for like 3 hours and it sold out?
Oh, did it?
Yeah. They're reissuing Phoenix through BBTS. Had a pre-order up. It's already sold out.
But
it's
they reissued Thomas for $5.
It's the original version, not
Yeah,
the.
yeah. It was $270, I think, is what they put the pre-order back up for. Yeah, I did see it. I didn't realize it sold out that quick.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird.
But I mean, it's sort of weird. I mean, I'm just wondering. You know, there's a lot of speculation about Fans Project and everything. That maybe that may. No, you're thinking. Sorry, Fans Toys. That they're trying. One of the rumors that I've heard the most of is they're trying to acquire their own factory. So
I
that
don't
would
buy that at all.
Well, I'm just saying that's the rumor that I'm hearing getting the most traction.
Would you buy that for $1?
I'd buy that for $1.
Don,
about
if you were
Phoenix for it?
doing something that was possibly borderline illegal, would you buy your own facility to do it in?
Again?
Yes, actually, I would.
I know.
I would buy my own facility to do it in, but I also have actual legit operations running out of it during business hours.
Well, I'm just saying, Dicat, that's the rumor I'm hearing. People seem to think is. I'm just making conversation.
I know.
We're never really going to know
Right.
all the stuff. We're never going to see the man behind the curtain. We know that.
I just
But-
I just wouldn't want my name attached to something.
Right.
That,
but
like,
I'm just saying, if they're trying to raise money for something, a reissue of some of their super popular stuff like that, and Tesla would probably make them a lot of money.
Well,
if
they're not going to do Tesla because Tesla 2.0 is already on the table, so
Oh,
they would never.
Okay. Well, I remember them talking about that, but I didn't know whether 2.0 was that much of a revision.
Let's not mention leaving stuff on the table today, because I'm going to say something inappropriate that I wanted to use as the episode title last week, and I can't.
Is that why you deleted that tweet?
Yes, that's why I deleted that tweet.
Yeah, I don't like if I was doing a third party thing and I had a factory, I would want to keep it under wraps, where that what factory I was using and
yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, they are, if they need money for something, that reissuing some of their really hard to find ones now would be a good way to raise some money.
I just don't.
Capital.
Well, yeah, I just don't see that they make enough.
We've seen
money.
I'm sorry, Brian.
I just don't see that they would make enough money to justify having a factory for the insane cost that would be.
Right. I mean, because a factory in overseas, it has to be operating almost, I would say at least 10 hours a day.
Oh no, it would be operating.
More.
It would be operating 20+ hours a day.
Yeah.
I would assume between shifts. If you assume that there's 2 shifts a day, between shifts, you would assume there would be no more than a 2-hour downtime for inspection and maintenance and cleaning of the machines, and also doing whatever tooling changeouts and like plastic injection changeouts they need to do. Like all of that would be lumped together in as short in a single span of time as possible between shifts to maximize the output. Now, a factory would be running as many hours of the day as is feasibly possible. So I would say 20 easily.
Like, is it accurate to say, and I guess I'm kind of directing this more to Brian, Chris, and John, is it accurate to say Hasbro doesn't even have their own factories?
No, I mean, they would be contracting factories that already exist.
Right.
And we've heard through, I think, the Hasbro people who've gone to BotCon in the past, that it's actually Takara that does most of the brokering for the factory time and everything.
Well, that would make
now
sense
they probably enter long-term contracts to say the factory, you're going to produce our stuff exclusively for whatever span of time. After that, we'll renegotiate, or we will find other production. But for let's say 5 years, you're going to produce all of our stuff that we ask you to, and not do work for anybody else. In that time, we'll keep you with enough stuff to do to keep your costs and everything working right. But during this time, we essentially own you.
You're
probably
saying
say
Fans
it a little bit
Toys
more politely than that.
or Hasbro?
No, we're talking about Hasbro and Takara.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought you were talking fan. I had to step away, and I thought you were talking Fans Toys. I'm like, they don't have volume like that.
No.
and
we
that's what I was
talking
saying. That's what I was
Hasbro.
saying with the Fans Toys thing earlier, with them buying a factory. Like, if it was me, yeah, I would buy my own factory, but I would also be contracting out for quote unquote legit operations.
Yeah. And
during the daytime.
I just wouldn't want anything under my name.
No,
money trail-
and if Fans Toys was going to do that, I don't think they would, register the business as being, the Fans Toys production factory. They would probably they would have some other substitute business name that they would actually register it as,
Right.
as a quote unquote legit production company.
But if I'm connected with Fans Toys, meaning that there's money going into my account from Fans Toys, and I also own a factory, you kind of put 2 and 2 together, and
yeah, but I mean, it's not that hard to bury a paper trail. It really is.
I mean, it matters. It depends on who's looking for that paper trail. And for Fans Toys, I don't think they need to worry about it that much.
Yeah, because they're not producing bootlegs. They're producing, gray area, questionable IP stuff, but they're not producing bootlegs. And bootlegs is the thing that gets people actually coming after you, because that's what is easily legally actionable.
Right.
And
what is that?
this what we've had conversations about for years with this, like why doesn't Hasbro or Takara go after these people producing third-party toys? Yeah, they could try to argue IP infringement from similarity, but there's so many robot toys and, robot toys that aren't Transformers that do change shapes. You could argue that similarity, but it would be a difficult case to actually probably get before a judge, and also to get the judge or whatever presiding authority to actually like understand the distinctions and why this is a problem, whereas all these other robot toys aren't.
I know we say that. I know, and I totally agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm like, it's pretty obvious what these are.
Yeah, and like I think it is a fight they could win if they wanted to make the attempt, but it would probably take so much time and cost to do it that for whatever impact these third-party companies that are not bootlegging directly are having, it's not worth doing. If they get into bootlegging and they can have this clear-cut thing to go after them with, that's a completely different issue.
So I had a really awesome point, but Don shared a link to the most amazing looking Dr. Fate from Mezco, and I pre-ordered that.
But it's pre-show. You have to wait and do that when it's actual show hours.
Yeah, I mean, I just love that. But the weird thing is the outfit doesn't look quite. The DC Universe Classics has the look that I like for that outfit. But I still think that's a great.
It's an awesome looking Dr. Fate. I am very okay with that. Now, if they could get me an hour, is there an Hour Man DC 112?
I don't think. Let me
and a
look.
Wildcat. All the JSA.
I wouldn't mind Alan Scott, but I've got that. I got the 13-inch, the old that. Remember when they were doing the 12-inch roughly, kind of like a Mezco kind of thing.
Oh, Adam Smasher. Ooh, sorry.
The only way I would say that Vans Toys is actually hurting Hasbro and Takara is when you relate it to Masterpiece, because of the prices of the Hasbro and Takara Masterpieces, how they've gone up so much.
Takara's doing that to themselves.
But everyone now says, well, look at third party that can do it a lot cheaper, when it used to be reversed. When Takara and the
thing hurting Masterpiece more than anything is the knockoffs.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's really damaging Masterpiece.
Yeah, because that's the stuff that's out there where it's hard or sometimes impossible, like without actually receiving the thing, to discern whether it's a legit product.
Or even if you do, just you don't even look at it that closely.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a more immediate thing, challenging official Masterpiece stuff. Like I see what you're thinking too, Diecast. Like, because the third party stuff can provide equivalent products and products that a number of people say generally are more enjoyable, even often at a lower price point. Like, yeah, it does start to feel like there is some competition in that. But again, competition is not itself a legally actionable thing, and we come back to the same situation as before. I think as soon as one of these companies, crosses over that line to where it goes from like, yes, we'd have to spend weeks or months in court explaining and arguing our side of this case to convince the authority to take an action against the companies making this stuff, when they can just say like, yes, they've clearly and explicitly broken this law and infringed on our rights or whatever, that's when they will go after them. Now, in the past, I remember Takara has gone in different routes about this. This would have been in 2013 or maybe 2014, around then, where Takara started going to retailers in Japan who were carrying third-party products and basically telling them, like, get rid of this stuff right now and never carry it again, or we are not going to sell you any of our products anymore. You will not be able to carry any of our merchandise anymore.
And that's the best way to go.
It's the most effective way that they can do this in like an immediate sense.
Yeah, I can't say it's the best way, because there's, if it's still out there, people are going to buy it. They're just not going to buy it from that site that sells official Hasbro product as well.
Yeah, and you see like stories like HLJ do not carry unofficial Transformers products.
Yeah,
and in Japan, HLJ, AmiAmi, Hobby Search, all of those, if they carried any of that stuff, that would end up making a lot of money for the third parties and taking sales away from the Takara products. So like they're not going to do that because that would be a threat, and those retailers know carrying that unofficial, unlicensed stuff is going to be a threat to their relationship with this manufacturer.
Yeah, I still don't understand from the outside looking in how the US store that's a known distributor for Hasbro has still been able to sell both. And if that ever changes, then that'll really put it.
As far as I know, it was never Hasbro going after anybody saying don't carry this stuff.
Yeah. No, I know that. I'm just saying.
So I don't think Takara would have jurisdiction, let's say, to go to a big toy store in the US who's carrying this stuff and say, you need to stop carrying this. They would have to run that through Hasbro, and if Hasbro says like it's not worth doing that, it's not that big of a hit to the bottom line.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if Hasbro, forget about Takara, if Hasbro really wanted to say that to those particular retailers that are direct, they could.
Well,
and
remember when we had an official fan convention and they said, "Hey, don't have this stuff on the floor."
And more than that too. I mean, there was a stretch of time when, having like front page open discussion of these unlicensed things was kind of a mild taboo. But much like what had happened a few years prior to that, where pictures and discussion of leaked test shots and prototypes were also kind of, Hasbro was like, please don't show this stuff. It's not meant for the public to see. Like that ended up just being forgotten about before very long, and business went back to business,
I still wish I had a picture, or I could find a picture of that mock-up Trypticon they showed us with like Fort Max parts, just like.
Oh no, that's out there because that got published in the magazine.
Oh, okay, because that was one of the things they showed us.
Now?
Their proof of concept Trypticon.
Yeah, their proof of concept Trypticon picture that they showed us one year at New York Toy Fair, where it was just like pieces of Fort Max like glued onto it.
Hasbro?
Yeah,
in the vague shape of a Trypticon.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it was a design study for the purpose of saying like, yes, we can make a dinosaur-shaped thing out of the amount of plastic and parts that made up Fortress Maximus and Metroplex.
Yeah, it was
so they
cool.
literally took a Fortress Maximus or Metroplex and cut it down, or they got like an untrimmed sprue of all of it and just built all the parts together into the vague shape of a dinosaur. It was printed in a magazine at one point, and I think there's a scan of that on T-Formers somewhere still. I'm almost positive me and Rob have referenced that very picture in something we've done since that came out.
Sounds
so
right.
like that's definitely out there.
I had no idea it was out there because I just remember seeing it, and there was
right. And also in the same thing, I think was the wood block Trypticon.
Yes, I can't remember if I saw that at New York Comic Con, but I do remember seeing that wood Trypticon picture somewhere.
I know someone referenced that also having been shown at a toy fair. Oh, Rodimus Supreme put the picture up in the Discord, and Don, that's the Discord,
yes.
not on Twitter, so don't go like looking through.
Make sure autoplay is turned off.
Yeah,
that is it. I love that. I love that.
No, yeah, I love that too. In again, the like logistics of engineering sense for how they get from point A to point B with this stuff. So like the wood block one obviously this is the silhouette we want this thing to have and the general size and volume we want it or expect it to take up. So then they move on to, okay, let's take a Fortress Maximus apart and see if we can actually build something that looks similar to that out of the amount of parts we actually have to work with.
I haven't seen that photo in years. That is great.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you, Rodimus Supreme. That's awesome. That's one of those rare tidbit things that we never get to see. Like I would love to see more of that.
See, that's almost the one regret I have of not having gone to the one HasCon, because they had that tour of the stuff from their vault, which included prototype and unreleased stuff similar to that.
Oh yeah, that was like, was that an ad? Oh yeah, to have their premium.
Yeah, I think that was
pass or
one of the
something.
upper tier registrations.
Yeah, I think Eric did that. Maybe.
Yeah, that seems like a thing he would do.
At the rate we were going, I was like, we'll get invited to Hasbro eventually. Like, that hasn't happened. And this year, I'm just blaming it on COVID. This was going to be our year. We were going to go to Hasbro. I'm positive about it.
Yeah, I love these like weird off the wall prototype kind of things, because like you say, we almost never get to see this level of the stuff.
Yeah, like the wood block is like, but yeah, that trip's gone with
the wood block thing is cool in its own way, and like Blade Raider kind of points out, wood prototypes of Transformers is not like a new concept, because for G1 stuff, it was all hand carved wood prototypes, kind of getting the idea down.
And the toys were very close to wood blocks themselves when they came out.
Depending, yeah. Especially for like some of the movie toys. No, this is the fun stuff, because this is the uncommon to see stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of purchase. What?
Oh, we weren't talking to you anyway.
Stop buying everything before the show. Wait until the actual show.
Okay.
Yeah, how are we supposed to have a proper drinking game if we're all like drunk or dead on our feet before we even start?
Is the stream still working on YouTube? I hope so. Bump, 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 bump.
Well, it for sure isn't like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta hand it to, YouTube in various circumstances for making episode 700 memorable in its own unique way.
Oh, Rodimus Supreme shared the link.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wood. That's the wood. Yeah.
I think he has a dino turd in the photo too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure like what that's supposed to prove. Like there's like a wire or something attached to it. I don't know if that's just like adding a little bit more structural support. Because you gotta think that's probably a little tenuous the way they have it put together.
Yeah, I don't know if that or if that was like a built-in like feature that got abandoned. Like there was something
I don't think this like does anything except stand there and look vaguely like a dinosaur.
Yeah, I remember this photo. For whatever reason, though, when we were talking, I was thinking that they actually just disassembled a retail Fort Max and put it together.
Yeah, it's probably more that they said to the factory, like, make us, a test shot version of whatever code they have with the factory for, a particular toy.
An ID10T.
And send that along, and then they, like they probably said, run this, don't even bother assembling the parts, just send us the screws, we'll work with it ourselves. And so we got this weird, like, lemon and flesh colored dinosaur robot made of Fortress Maximus.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I wish I could have this. Like there should be an auction for this. I wouldn't have enough money to win the auction, but
the thing that once broke my heart was BotCon 2016. Me and Rob went to the Aaron Archer panel, and I went and asked him a question, something to the effect of like, we've heard a lot of unreleased stuff from the Beast Machines era and around then. Like, is there anything that you remember or that stands out in your mind that we didn't hear about that never came out? And basically what he said is like, oh, there was loads of stuff and it's all sitting in an archive of Takara's somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but what was it?
I mean, something like this, they possibly probably just tossed out because you just need to document it, like with photos.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kept the Trypticon prototypes around, though. Given all the other stuff that still is around and has survived, they seem to, hold on to this as kind of artifacts.
I guess I'm good to go if you guys are.
Oh, yeah, it's showtime.
Okay.
I'm good.
Have we actually heard from Rob since he joined the call?
No, haven't actually heard John's voice either.
Yeah, that's true. It seemed like he tried before.
Yeah. John,
Here.
how are you feeling?
I feel fine. We're just running out the clock now. Nobody's got symptoms. We're done.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
We're good.
I am not sure why my microphone was muted, but I'm here.
Hey, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
Rob. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we're recording 3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 701. I'm Brian Kilby. Thank you, Chris, for hosting last week, and I apologize to all the listeners that I didn't edit the show.
We could just say this is episode 700 and declare that last week's episode didn't happen.
Yeah, so about that, I had a child in the hospital. She was in the hospital for about a week. Editing the show was not a high priority. I normally just say, hey, are there any edit points? I didn't ask that. I just didn't get any emails or anything, so I assumed that there weren't any edit points. And shame on me for not doing it. So if you haven't
But we
listened...
usually don't.
That'll teach you to trust us from now on.
Yes, so if you haven't listened to last week's episode yet, skip for the time point about 44 minutes and 30 seconds. Just skip to about 50 minutes and we will be okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so... Yeah, but about that, so 701. That is a milestone. It's the most episodes we've done so far.
700 down, 700 to go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a lot. God, I wonder how many episodes we'll actually end up doing.
I don't really want to think about it.
Yeah. Sometime in the 32nd century will be around episode 45,000 or so. Or not. Okay. So, hey, a lot of stuff going on. It's our Elf on a Shelf Warmer toy drive. Thank you, Chris. Did a great job last week
thank you.
sharing that with listeners. I just want to, again, point out that, this year, as tough as it's been, this will be one of the toughest years for kids out there that we've had in years and years. So if you can, just take a moment and when you're out and about buying toys, looking for new Earthrise figures, whatever, looking for G.I. Joe stuff, if you see that Cyberverse Deluxe Shockwave or Cyberverse Deluxe Bumblebee or the RC or anything like that, or an Earthrise, I don't know, Ironworks or whatever, there's going to be a kid out there who would love to have that toy. Think back to your first Transformer. Mine that I didn't break. My first Transformer would have been Cosmos. And, a mini bot, not expensive. I have it today and I cherish that toy. There are kids out there.
Too.
Yeah. There are kids out there who may not get anything for Christmas. I was always the poorest kid in class, and oftentimes when I was a kid, I would get stuff like from Toys for Tots or something equivalent to it. It breaks my heart thinking about it, but I have 3 foster kids. As of Friday, 2 will be adopted. But if they were still in their home of the biological parents, they very likely would get nothing for Christmas or very, very little. Just the thought breaks my heart. I mean, I'm going to get very personal here, but I worked and volunteered for a children's home for years, and 10, 11 years ago when I was actually working for the home, there was a little girl there. She was 3 years old, and Kim and I talked about adopting her. Beautiful little girl. She had been, since I'm not giving her name, I can give a little bit of background. she was violently abused by her biological, both physically and sexually. And Kim and I wanted to adopt her, but she ended up being adopted by somebody else. They basically, I hate to say, beat us to that, but she was adopted. Things were so tough with that little girl that she actually ended up going back into the adoption pool. And I was looking her up on the internet a couple days ago, and she is now 13 and still up for adoption. And she's in a home. If it isn't for the kindness of people, she wouldn't get anything. So it doesn't have to be a Transformer. It doesn't have to be G.I. Joe. I have all the stuff back here that I'm donating, and I'm trying to pick up stuff for little kids. I have some toys for 18-month-olds up to like 4-year-olds that we'll be donating later this week. So, if you can, buy something. My rule of thumb is, if you can buy one nice toy for $20 or 2 comparable toys to that on clearance for the same $20, go for the comparable toys. Kids out there who have nothing will be very appreciative of a toy from the last series or what's Don's favorite? If there was a Jack of Hearts Marvel Legends figures, there'd be a kid out there that would love that, even though you could probably get it for $3. Just if it's the time of year, it make a difference in a child's life. There's drop boxes everywhere. Find a children's home, find whatever. It really, really will make a huge difference. I've seen it firsthand, so it's a good cause. And if you drop it off in a drop box or drop it off in a children's home, snap a photo, put hashtag elf on a shelf warmer, it will reshare it. And it'll be a good deed. It'll make you feel good, and it'll help a kid out. Something else that's a good deed, if you are a patron at the Touch tier, you can be on our Hot 5 podcast, and you can join Bob and Sean, who have been our new regular co-hosts on that. We were talking this week that we need to get a couple more people. That way we can actually have 5 hosts on Hot 5. And if you're that is open to folks at the Touch tier so far. Only folks who have participated are Sean and Bob. But if you are interested, give me a shout and we will get you on. So that's a lot of fun. It really is. What else? What else is going on? Next week is Thanksgiving here in the U.S. We'll be doing a show like normal.
Because nobody's going anywhere, or hopefully nobody's going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we
responsibly celebrate at home and visit your family over Skype or Zoom or Discord or what have you.
Yeah, we actually bought furniture, like new kitchen chairs and stuff to accommodate Thanksgiving. And then things got worse, and we called it off. And my brother, who I honestly thought would be like, "Why are you doing that for? That's silly." He's like, "That's a really good idea." Like, he was like my wife, which is his 4th wife that I've never met. People at her office, several people have it, and we're just trying to do what we can not to get it. And I'm like, I'm proud of you for realizing that this is a dangerous, horrible thing. So, be careful, be safe, and if you can skip going out. And Diecast has a cat, and that cat's going to attack him any second.
Yeah, and she just doesn't like being held that much.
Oh, that's a great idea.
She's going to attack.
That's a great idea, then. I should go get Buddy.
Why am I surrounded by so many people here who don't get how to cat?
Hey, my cat doesn't need to be held to attack.
That's true, but it doesn't hurt. Well, actually, it does.
A lot.
Hey,
Buddy,
Buddy,
come down the
over
mound
here.
at me, she's gonna get picked up. I mean, that's the way it
That's
is.
not what that means.
Buddy's like, "Leave me alone, human."
Exactly, that's what that means.
Yeah.
Feed me and then leave me alone.
Yep. What else? There's a lot of things going. Oh, hey, I can't talk about what's in it right now. I can do that, say, Friday at noon. But if you're watching video at tfradio.net/live or on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or Periscope, I'm pointing toward a box here. that a little elf had sent me.
I already guessed what it was.
That says Hasbro on it. It is not Unicron.
No. I already guessed what it was on your Twitter.
Don? Is Don in there?
Diecast, he doesn't read your replies.
I read his replies. I just don't.
He has you muted, but
No,
it's
I
too
don't.
nice to tell you.
No, I don't. I don't have him muted. I forgot what he said, but it's not that.
It was a box of children's tears from 1986 from when they killed Optimus Prime.
Oh, that's right. And then there was a discussion about how that was a horrible movie
For kids,
for kids. I love it. I've watched it hundreds and hundreds of times, but not good. But yeah,
No, I mean, so I didn't get the Transformers until G2 started. So that was like 1993. So the cartoon was on for a little while, and one of the video rental places nearby actually still had Transformers the movie for rental, the FHE version, at that time. And not knowing any better, I asked my parents to rent that, and I did not have a very good evening after that.
I knock Transformers the movie all the time. Of course, I love it. I'm going to spoil something that I have coming. I might have a different sealed edition of Transformers the movie on Laserdisc on the way. So
How many more are there?
I might have both editions of Transformers the movie on Laserdisc sealed that I am exceedingly happy to have.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. The 98 version and the 89 version.
Nice.
Yeah. I actually ended up scoring the 98 version for substantially less than I paid for my open copy. So
Nice.
yeah, I'll show that off next week, hopefully. As long as it doesn't get lost. Oh dear God, I was so worried about that. The Hill Crane version getting lost over the trip over the Atlantic. Oh my God, I was on pins and needles. So cool. Okay, so what else? What do we got going on?
I don't know, is that all our plugs?
I think so. Chris, what are you doing?
Yeah. So I only got one quick thing this week, mostly because I don't really care about it. It's Select's Bug Bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm least enthusiastic about out of anything coming out that I had on pre-order. I probably should have just canceled the pre-order at some point, but I didn't. So the only thing from an initial inspection I can say is better about this than Hubcap or Cliff Jumper is the shoulder blocks are not painted, so it's just the base black plastic, so at least that's not going to scrape and chip when you transform it. But it's basically the same thing like the others. It's the white on there is all white paint except for the forearms and the head, so be careful with that. But I think if I actually do take this out and try to photograph it, it's not going to drive me as insane as Hubcap did, because the white actually enhances the details of the sculpting, whereas Hubcap's yellow tended to just make them all disappear. I want to get the Netflix Bumblebee, which is the same engineering with just a different shell on it, basically. But I do feel like I'm pretty much done with this engineering at this point. I'm happy to just have this be retired after Bumblebee gets in my hands.
Also yellow. I suspect you're done with yellow for at least the rest of the year.
At least Bumblebee is a darker shade, which is probably going to both look better and be easier to photograph without taking extraordinary measures.
Well, here's hoping.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Hey, just a heads up, I just made a purchase, so take a drink.
All right. All right, so I got something that I got a package from Don.
Oh, I think I got the same thing. Oh, no. No, I didn't. Oh, my God.
Well, it was in this box.
Yeah,
but
that was the only box I had. That's why I told you.
Don bought Nicey?
He pranked me.
He put Death's
Head 2 in the
I
Heads too. No,
I did not.
Excellent.
No, I did not.
That was a joke.
Oh, Don,
No,
I wish you
it was
had done that.
actually Metalhead.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Yeah,
He is my only NECA turtle that I have ever seen or been able to find, and thank you, Don. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
actually,
Don.
come to think
Same
of it,
thing.
the only NECA Ninja Turtles thing I have is also thanks to Don, which is the Shredder and Krang 2-pack.
Nice.
I
nice.
never see the stuff around here.
Yeah, my target.
I think Don is our turtle fairy.
My target got in 2 of those, and I knew people were still looking. See, I thought John needed one, and so I got 2, and I checked with John first. He said he already had one, and then y'all 2 needed them because my target will sometimes get them in, and I just happened to get lucky, and it was there, and I wanted to help somebody out. I'm not collecting the line. It's a great line, and for the value. Some of these sets are these massive, like the boulder people or whatever they are, the rock people or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a lot of plastic for 50 couple of bucks, whatever they run. So yeah, I'll help anybody out I can. It just depends on if I can get there if anybody else does.
But thanks again. And then the next thing I got, which I absolutely
Who'd you order it from?
love, Entertainment Earth.
Yeah, everybody's getting them fulfilled from Entertainment Earth except for me. Entertainment Earth charged me 2 weeks ago, basically to the day, for that Megatron and has not even shipped it or created a label yet.
Let me tell you, this is one of the best painted head sculpts I've ever seen. And you know me, I don't really go on about paint a lot. So you know it's good when I'm saying it's worth mentioning. Like his whole dome is painted. His face is painted a matte gray or a flat gray. He's got the black for the eyebrows. He's got orange for the eyes. And it is the best looking head sculpt I have seen. And not only, I shouldn't say sculpt, but paintwork on a head I've seen in a while.
I did not order from Entertainment Earth. Is my problem.
Yes, but I did. So there's a different problem.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's I love it.
And you know, and I hate to say this, but that's the only way they would have gotten me to buy that Earthrise Megatron mold. That is the only thing that they could have done to make me buy that mold. Mm-hmm. Since it is so nearly Xerox copy paste from the Siege version, but that's the one thing they could have done to make me like, oh crap, I gotta buy that. I hate it. I'm gonna buy it. You know, I hate it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm just glad they didn't do the purple version because that would have been like another
purple G2 Megatrons.
Yeah,
you can never have enough purple G2 Megatrons.
I have enough purple G2 Megatrons.
I could stand one.
But I love it. It's highly recommended.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
I'm just waiting for Pulse to ever get theirs in.
I'm waiting on Big Bad myself.
Yeah. Hey, does it say Megatron Attack?
It does not.
Does it say Big Stick?
No.
I'm sure there's going to be a Toy Hacks label set that'll rectify some of that stuff.
Big Stick.
I love it.
Toy.
Yep.
Okay. Who got what? What else?
I'll go. I don't have much. It's been a very light week for me. Off topic. This is 2 weeks in a row, and I don't like it. I bought something Star Wars, and it's like weird. But I know. But again, if it's not a snow trooper or a scout trooper, an indoor scout bike trooper, I ain't gonna buy it. I'm pretty much safe on that. But I did want to get the because it was a GameStop exclusive and they had one and it was on sale. But other than the Snow Trooper, the indoor bike Scout Trooper is one of my favorite outfits. So I got that. Thanks to Gizmonan on if I'm butchering that, I apologize. On Twitter, I got Thunderhowl because apparently. Because Brian, you tweeted a picture that there was like a sidekick or a feature of them at a Walmart close to you.
No, my Walmart did not have it.
Oh, your Walmart. Okay, I thought you tweeted a picture as well. Anyway, after watching a couple of reviews, I'm really interested in the way he transforms. It seems like it's very interesting, so I'm looking forward to that. And it was on sale. I got it cheap. I wasn't planning on it. But I got Reaction Bumblebee, again, just for that card art. But that's just, again, that's why I'm buying these reaction figures.
I mentioned that on the show. Is that when you ordered it?
Yeah. Well, no. I don't know, Brian. 2020 has been the longest 5 years of my life. I don't remember. But, again, I'm cherry picking the characters I like. And I do have another one coming. I was hoping I would have it for the show. but it's one I really think looks great, and I'm hopefully I'll have it for next week.
Okay, cool. Who else?
All right, I'll go. So I got a new Super Mini Pluck in the mail today. I got from the Toei Spider-Man. I got Leopardon.
Oh,
Nice.
hopefully no one steals it.
So I'll looking forward to putting that together this weekend. Other than that, I got a bunch of stuff that, well, everybody else got weeks and weeks ago. But I got 2 more Quintessons
Nice.
to fill out my ranks. I have the 5 now, so good.
So basically, you've got the 5 figures of darkness.
Yes, absolutely.
Way to go, Don.
Smokescreen finally came in the mail today.
Oh, don't you love him?
Or not today. Yeah, he is really great. I mean, I love this Dotson mold anyway, other than all the clear plastic that's going to shatter one day.
Yeah, but for some reason, it seems like that mold's a little because between it and Blue Streak, Smokescreen seems a little sturdier. I don't know. Something about Blue Streak seems like the fit and finish isn't quite there compared to Smokescreen. Maybe it's just a paint thing.
I don't know. All the tolerances on my Prowl seem to be better than either Smokescreen or Blue Streak. So I don't know. I got in the mail today the entirety of Wave 3 Deluxes, so I got Run Amok. And that sure is a lot of white paint.
Yeah.
The tabs on mine aren't too bad. I was actually able to get everything to peg together into car mode pretty easily, so that was nice. I was worried about that.
I don't remember who, but I saw on Twitter that somebody found Runabout at a Target that was street dated for the 1st of December. But
they're out.
Yeah, I've seen at least 2 people have found it. So, but if they can't buy it,
well, Target let them get it. And honestly, the next time I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to take 2 Deluxes to self-checkout and leave one. Yeah, I'm just going to be a jerk about it, and that's what I'm going to do. If it's street dated.
I mean, the only thing you're going to mess up inventory on for them is the exclusive
item
itself,
Yeah.
and since it's an exclusive with its own DPCI, it's not going to be that long-term a problem.
Yeah.
so got Fast Track. Really nice. Like, I love the weaponizers so much. I hope they find a way to keep this going, like, in the future, because I know there's only so many characters that you can use on this concept, and we've already got most of them.
Yeah.
But they're fun. So Sunstreaker is horrifically American cheese colored.
Yeah.
Just, I was hoping that it was an exaggeration, but it's not. Mine, I have a little trouble in car mode getting the chest car panel hood to peg into place. It doesn't want to go all the way. I don't know if that's a common problem or not.
It seems like it kind of is.
Yeah.
Because if you look at pictures and reviews, like a lot of them have a big gap between the roof and the rest of the windshield parts. But like in my experience, it will go if you just work on it a little bit. It just needs some help to kind of settle down in there. And after the first time it does that, it's a little bit more willing to like come together and lock in how it's supposed to after that.
Trailbreaker is my favorite out of the 4.
Yeah, he's nice.
In the Wave, like, super nice. I'm glad to get a good deluxe Trailbreaker, because he's one of those characters who doesn't get a whole lot of love. I mean, the last one we got was 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like this one way better.
The tiny deluxe that came out.
Combiner Wars.
Oh yeah. Okay. See, I forgot about that one.
I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead, Don.
I like the Trailbreaker, but I was watching him go, and he did point out it doesn't look it till you notice it, but that dark brown on Trailbreaker does kind of stand out against the black. Like in package, if you're just sort of looking at them, but when you get that right kind of light, you do notice it's the dark brown versus the black. But I still love the Trailbreaker. I think that's a better use of the mold than Hoist, other than the long arm flaps on the backside.
Okay, cool.
And lastly, I too got from Entertainment Earth
so
G2
pretty.
Megatron. Yeah, he is really nice. Just,
do you agree with the head thing I was saying?
Yeah, it is really, really well done. I mean, I don't care for the tank mode that much because this was just heavily reworked from the siege mold to make it an earth tank instead of an H tank. And when you transform it into tank mode, like behind the turret, it's still an H tank pretty much, and they give you this little piece of plastic to slide in there between the legs to fill it in, and it sure was a choice they made. Speaking of choices they made, this thing, cannon sword
thing sucks.
Cannon sword thing, just like somebody should be ashamed of themselves for this. Just
it's like if you could have put like maybe like some fold out wings underneath it, like it'd be like a drone that he can like launch or something when he transforms to be like a drone or something, just to give it some kind of.
No, I don't think there's any way to get me to like that thing, Don.
Oh, that's true.
And that's it for me this week.
Oh, I gotta respond to Insane Galvatron in Discord. TFRadio.net/Discord. Okay, that's okay. I'm moving on. John, Rob, did you get anything?
Rob, you go first.
Arg, muted again. I got nothing.
John, what'd you get?
Let's see. What did I get? Well, as a Mac person, I downloaded Big Sur, and I got a brick. I got a bricked Mac Mini that I had to recover from Time Machine. I love Apple. I really don't. I love Apple from 2007. I don't know. I don't like Apple from 2010 on. But anyway, if you're a Mac user, please get Time Machine. It has saved my
Yes,
bacon.
I'm not even a Mac user, and I know that.
Yes, have it running all the time. Let's see here. Oh, the only thing that I really got, and I'll count it as something I got this week or in the last week or so, because I do believe they charged me for it, so it counts on the ledger, is for whatever reason I decided to, at the last minute, back the Razor Crest. So that's my second HasLab project that I've backed. So, I like Mando like half the globe. And I don't know. I guess just that they say that Kickstarter style projects like get a ton of backers at the last minute. So I'm probably one of those. And I figure like if I change my mind and I don't want HasLab Razor Crest when it comes, I'll sell it on eBay for a ton of money. Yeah. So I'm good either way. But that really was like an awesome project, and I had eyed it like for weeks and weeks, and then just the pressure of the countdown got to me. So other than that, though, I actually don't think I got any Transformers this week, which hasn't happened in a while. Yeah, so cool. That's it.
So I got a bunch of crap, and I'm not going to go through it all. I had a bunch of crap for episode 700. Stuff I have over there in a box that I'm trying to think through. That I got the 2020 Hallmark ornament. The Jazz, and that's on the Toys for Tot / Elf on a Shelf warmer tree back there. I also got something I've wanted for a while, since it's promotion that's been out there, but I couldn't find it. The little Hershey's Kisses treasure box with the little miniature Transformers in them. There's 6 figures. The only ones I know of are the 4 that I have, which are Bumblebee, Grimlock, and Megatron. I need to see if I can get the rest, but what I've done is I'm using those as ornaments on the tree, along with some of the Dollar Tree toys, mini figures that came out. I got Tiger Track. I got the Autobot clones, which makes me angry because it's in the Selects packaging and not in the Generation style packaging like the Decepticon clones.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but like all the Galactic Odyssey stuff is in the same packaging style.
Oh yeah, I get it, but like
okay.
I wanted to display it with. I'd like to display it with the Decepticon clones in package. So I'm just basically having to just open the lid and just.
Yeah. So here's what you do: buy a second of those clone sets, take the clones out, and put the Decepticon clones in the box, and just leave both of them sitting open with their flaps, and you'll never know the difference.
Yeah, sure. So let's see here. What else do I have over in that pile? I got the non-annual ornaments, Bumblebee and Optimus, to go on the tree. Any other Transformer stuff in that pile? I don't think so. Just some other random stuff. Thanks again, Don, for the metal head. I shipped my pile of loot from Big Bad, so it included the extra large Devastator from
Oh, yeah.
the Super 7 reaction thing.
That does look really good, doesn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it looks nice. I also, because I mentioned on the show, got Bumblebee, the reaction figure. And I actually bought new shells for the carded stuff. Not for Bumblebee. I did it because in my pile of loot, my Pimp Daddy Destro from 2007 came. I wanted to protect it. So I was actually trying to
back.
$50.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
that's not terrible actually.
And I was trying
no,
to
it
figure,
was.
they got
yeah,
them back
oh.
in stock, and I'm trying to figure out what the source was, and I don't know. But on the back of the card, there's residue from like a sticker that was on it. So
I wonder if that could have been like from Europe or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's interesting. I'm sorry, Don. I was talking to everyone. What are you saying?
Oh no, sorry. I was saying. I remember pointing it out to you when it went up on their website. You had already.
You had already ordered it.
bought
Yeah.
Yeah, you already ordered it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hopped on that pretty quick. It's not Transformers, but it's not something I buy often. Classic Space, the Crater Crawler. I got it. I think it's my first Lego Classic set in a box. It's tiny. It was cheap, but I've been wanting it. Let's see here. Speaking of cheap, I went to Ross and I found NPM 8 Megatron.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's going to go.
Was that 24, like 25, like Ironhide was?
40.
40.
Yeah. But I got it's substantially cheaper than retail.
Yeah, I mean, from 160 down to 40, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it'll display pretty nicely in the box. Let's see here. So somebody had posted on Twitter a couple weeks ago that Sheets, my favorite store, one of my favorite stores, has knockoff Transformers. So Grimlock, Slog or whatever, and what's this pterodactyl? Is it Swoop? Strafe.
Swoop.
From the movies, not the real Transformers from Age of Extinction and Last Night.
I like that qualification.
Yeah, sorry. I know that's going to anger 3 people.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Yeah, but so these are knockoffs for $13. The packaging is exquisite. It feels like an official product. It is Armor Deformer is the name of the knockoff.
Theft.
Yeah, it's theft. Yeah. But it's theft in the sense that actually it's not, because it's a crappy knockoff. I'm not buying this instead of the G1 or the movie toy. Chris and I were looking at it earlier and trying to figure out which version of Grimlock this is. You think it might be the leader class toy?
I think it's based off of the leader. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's scaled down to a deluxe. I'm not going to open it, but it actually looks pretty decent. So, so that's
How much was it?
So weird.
$13. Yeah, I don't care enough to buy the other two. I just don't. But this is not bad. So I missed the Prime Day deal or whatever it was for the alternate universe Optimus Prime, which I already have it. But I saw that Toy Hacks is doing Dark Awakening themed sticker set, which I've ordered. So I got from Amazon Warehouse Deals a alternate universe Optimus Prime for the same price as it was on the Prime Day deal. And I was hoping that the package was damaged, the toy was beat up, because of the Dark of the Moon theme. Not Dark of the Moon theme, that's Dark Awakening theme. But it wasn't. But I've got a second alternate universe Optimus, and it'll have the Toy Hacks stickers here in a couple weeks. I'm really excited about that. And the thing that I am most excited about from my pile of loot, I've been waiting on it for a while, is these G.I. Joe sunglasses.
Yeah.
Diecast ordered them too. Do you have them already?
No, I actually just shipped my pile of loot while you were going over your stuff.
So the bag that comes in, one side is Storm Shadow, the other is Snake Eyes with Timber. I'm going to wear them for the rest of the show, I think.
Did they fit on your head comfortably?
Not really. I have a big head, though.
That's awesome.
I guess as long as they don't break.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
wearing...
but don't break. Is
I'm-
that a ring light?
Yeah, it's a ring light down here, yeah.
Aha.
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
Exposed.
People know I have a ring light.
I'm just saying.
So now I have a ring light and a 55-inch screen right here to my left.
Okay, well now you need cat ears on your headphones, and then you'll be all set up for Twitch.
So this is a Sennheiser broadcast headset. I don't think they make cat ears for it, but it is German,
You
who
could-
knows?
What you could do is 3D print some cat ears to clip onto it.
That's true.
Oh,
So
Brian,
I
since you-
do have a question with the glasses.
Yeah.
Does that help you spot any Target exclusive G.I. Joe's figures in the store?
It's not magical. Yeah.
I thought maybe that there, but the glasses are how you need to see them.
There's a G.I. Joe
The
Fan First
goggles,
Friday
they do
this week. Friday.
There's a
Yeah,
transition.
they're probably gonna like reveal all the new toys that you can't ever buy.
Yep.
At Target.
Cobra Island.
Yeah. So, but I have like a bunch of other crap that I'm not going to go into. But I did get the Matt and Don may care about this. I don't know. The retro Spider-Man Kingpin with the gigantic card. It's so pretty.
Yeah. It is. It is.
I got him. I just tore him out of the card.
I stay on the card. The those figures, I'm not buying them all. I'm not like buying the negative zone Spider-Man or anything, but like just the classic characters I'm getting.
Well, I might buy the Negative Zone one because I still have the KB version of that. That was an exclusive in their Flip and Trap series. And so I might get the negative one just for nostalgic sake.
Cool. Yeah. Oh God, Manny Cara, that breaks my heart. Said, I hope you're ready for Target exclusive Cobra Island bats.
Yeah, no, that seems plausible.
That would be cruel.
Well, they're doing Vipers. So, I mean, they got to do bats. I mean,
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not doing bats at even at mass retail. I've seen a few scattered at a Walmart and one roadblock at Target.
At least
And
if it's
Walgreens had a Cobra Commander and a Gunko. That's all I've seen.
If it's mass retail, at least I can order a bunch from Hasbro Pulse before they sell out. So I will never get that Viper. Oh God, I will never get that Viper. I'm so angry. I shouldn't be angry. I shouldn't care, but I do.
Well, I mean, I've said 1,000 times before, Brian. It still holds water. It should not be this hard for us to give money to a company for toys.
You're right.
And they're making it so much harder than it needs to be for no discernible reason other than just like nah. That's what it boils down to.
Blade in the chat at tfradio.net/discord. You should join us. Blade is saying it's better than the Walmart exclusive everything, like the 4-inch line. I can find the stuff at Walmart. I can. Masters of the Universe is on the shelf. I can buy it anytime I want.
I can't find that stuff. The only one I can find is He-Man and Skeletor.
Oh,
I've
because-
seen the G.I. Joe stuff one time.
I've seen the
Yeah,
G.I.
that
Joe
was
stuff
me.
on several occasions, but it's not at my Walmart right now. But I have.
I saw one case of red. I saw the one case of red with the 3 that I got. That was half the case.
But nobody
apparently.
needs those.
They canceled my Baroness. So I have everyone except Baroness. For the
I feel
first
that's
wave.
an accomplishment, right?
Yeah,
To be one short
Yeah.
at this point.
I would love to be
Yeah, I
one short of
guess.
Cobra Island, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
And I
not one
ordered
short.
2 Snake Eyes, and the one came ripped like they ripped it off a peg hook, which
They
was
might have.
confusing. Because if it came from the warehouse, why would it be on peg hooks? But I don't know.
Does Walmart do distribution from their stores like other retailers do?
It's possible that that does happen in some cases, not always, and it's kind of hard to determine in advance how they're going to fulfill an order,
Yeah.
which is why you get some cases of people ordering stuff from a toy assortment, one piece from that, and they will get some random other thing from the equivalent price point. I don't think that explains things like Diecast's Essential Oil Alicon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I checked eBay and like classified bear nest goes for basically $100.
What?
Consistently?
Oh wait, no, classified, not the 4-inch line. Or
No. Brian.
No,
But I also feel like if you're one or two short of being like caught up on that line, $100 probably isn't crazy.
It depends how fixated you are.
Yeah.
But there's 3 figures that I need, so I'm staring down $300 for those 3, and I don't want to do it.
Man.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about crap. So
I thought we were.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that what we did for the last 45 minutes?
So a couple weird things popped up this week. The Fan First Friday for Transformers was mostly a flop. There was that Dino figure. Oh, you guys talked about that last week, right?
No, because the show was on Wednesday, and
Okay.
Fan First Friday was on
Friday.
for it.
There-
Friday.
Hey. So, it's been a rough week for me.
Yes, but we're doing RFC,
Yeah.
which means like I'm not gonna like hold back either.
Hey. But yeah, so that Dino figure, which is some sort of generic vehicle, which
Yes.
I'm like that's sold out like immediately on Pulse, the pre-order.
Because people have been wanting like a newly designed unique toy of that character since Dark of the Moon came out.
Yeah,
The closest that had
Yep.
been before that was a redeco and possibly slight retool of Revenge of the Fallen Sideways, which was also not the right kind of car.
yeah. And what was the other Studio Series figure? Bumblebee?
The
Mhm.
Bumblebee.
Yeah,
Bumblebee.
Cybertronian Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Can someone explain that to me? Why did we need that?
the
Because
Bumblebee?
it's in the movie.
Yeah, the Bumblebee.
Because
I
it's in the movie.
And it was an easy toy for them to do.
It's just a remold of Cliff Jumper.
Yes, it's Cliff Jumper with a new head.
So I guess
but-
that's why they did it.
But that's why Cliff Jumper exists specifically. But it was in the movie, so of course they're going to make that. Now, since they have that and also the Cybertronian Starscream, like I wouldn't rule out the possibility they might, as time goes on, probably introduce some more of the Cybertronian designs from that movie, just because they can use that to fill out some space. So a Shockwave or a Soundwave along those design lines is certainly a possibility as time goes on.
Oh, that Soundwave design.
I mean,
Mm,
I'm not super into any of it all that much, really.
some are better than others.
I appreciate all that stuff exists on one level, but at the same time, we have to acknowledge that most of those were made very late in the post-production process because that scene was not part of the original script. So they didn't put as much time and detail into those models as they might otherwise. So any toys made based on them are going to be a little bit... they're going to look like that Starscream, probably.
Yeah.
I do want to say I heard secondhand, but from a reliable source that watches this kind of stuff, that apparently when they unveiled Dino, Japanese Twitter went crazy. Like they are way into that character, or like you say, finally getting a toy. So internationally, that was a huge hit,
Good.
which I find interesting.
Oh
Good.
yeah, I mean they've always been in the Bay movies over there. Like,
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. They're totally. Yeah.
But yeah, the vehicle mode is... Okay, so in the movie, Dino's a Ferrari, which is kind of the problem because Ferrari licensing is tied up really tightly by not Hasbro. I think
Lego
spread
has
out
it.
Lego has access to it. One of the diecast car manufacturers also has their hooks in it pretty hard.
Not
Mestio.
not Takara with Tamika though. Apparently.
No. So this toy's vehicle mode is definitely not a Ferrari, and I think in the news desk I compared it to a misshapen Bugatti as the next
Yeah.
closest thing it looks like.
So, thing I really wanted to talk about though, I'm so disappointed with this. And I think it might have been Rob that called this one during the show last week. The Ghostbusters crossover figure is literally just an Afterlife Ecto 1.
Yeah. Which I think realistically is probably what most people actually expected it to be.
Oh, it's like that was just so boring that I just couldn't imagine that that's what it was going to be, and that's absolutely what it is. Hey, but it comes with a real one of the real Ghostbusters ghosts accessory things.
Well, it has a new head sculpt too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a
It
lot
comes
more
as an
paint.
exclusive, a very important Target exclusive.
But it's easy to get a hold of. It's still available for pre-order.
And
well,
yeah,
that's
it's got a
because
lot more paint,
$60.
Yeah, it's $60.
And yeah, it's got a lot more paint, but it's got a lot more paint in the Siege, tradition. So it's not. I'm not necessarily sure that's positive.
And the thing is, seeing this made me realize that in Afterlife, it's Ecto 1 and not Ecto 1A, which makes me feel really ripped off.
Yeah, and I mentioned this on Twitter. It's a shame it's not Ecto 2, which I keep forgetting exists.
Ecto 2 is what, the helicopter?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the one-man helicopter.
Yeah. But Ecto 1A was so awesome with the LCD paneling and everything.
The hazard striping. Yeah.
I would much rather have an Ecto 1A than this, but they're not making Ghostbusters 2 again. But yeah,
Nor should they.
they should. Ghostbusters 2 is awesome.
But no, that's why I'm saying they shouldn't, because we already have Ghostbusters 2, and they couldn't make Ghostbusters 2 better
Oh, yeah,
than
you're right,
Ghostbusters
you're right.
2 already
Yeah,
is.
your Ghostbusters 2 is
Yeah,
is
that's
wonderful.
fair.
Yeah.
Hushed on.
What?
I'm not a big fan of Ghostbusters.
Okay,
2.
kicked on.
No, I'm sorry. I don't think
let's
it's
not go
good.
there, Don.
You can't remotely mute this participant. Aw.
Oh.
But yeah, so Afterlife, Ectotron, $60. And,
No thanks.
Yeah, well,
Comes with a comic book.
issue 1.
Yeah.
It's a decent comic.
Yeah.
So
Well,
who
yes,
pre-ordered
that's only
it?
one
I
issue.
I knew it. See, on this call.
I did, but I'm
Well, here's the thing.
I did, but I'm debating on it.
I pre-ordered it because I put it in my cart, then I abandoned the cart, and when
And
the
then
next
they emailed you saying,
No.
hey, you left something in your cart.
when the next item popped up for pre-order, which we'll talk about now,
Oh.
yeah, the Ultimate Expanse, it was still sitting in my cart, and I'm like, okay, you hung around that long, I will buy you. So
This
You took
Ectotron
pity
also
on
has,
it.
yes,
this Ectotron has different packaging than the first one, which they didn't show on the stream. I'm going to assume because they didn't show it and because it's not specifically the retro style, it might be styled for the Ghostbusters Afterlife toy line itself. Whatever tie-ins they're going to do for that. So if that kind of variant also matters to you, that might be another reason to buy this.
yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. Although that Plasma series sucks. Yeah, so I said it. So, but yeah, the like Thursday, Monday, Hasbro announced that there would be another crossover line, this time with X-Men, and then like the next day it popped up.
Yeah, officially.
Officially.
It didn't leak, it came out officially.
Like, did we have any clue? We had no clue that this was coming.
No.
Yeah, so this is so weird and it's so ugly. I love it. It is so ugly. It's beautiful.
I can't say I even care about it, and they even used the
Same.
Jetfire mold.
I hate Jetfire. I hate Jetfire, but I don't care. This is so.
I mean, they use the Jetfire engineering to a degree, but
Yeah.
like to say they use the Jetfire mold is probably misleading because it's very different from Jetfire.
So Ultimate Expanse is basically the Blackbird from X-Men, but the animated series.
Yeah, the 90s animated series.
And
The good.
the packaging is so 90s it hurts.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely. I pre-ordered it and then I texted my girlfriend because it's on a limit of one per person, and I asked her to get one too because I want to keep one in the box.
And the of course this photo is horribly mistransformed, but the robot mode itself is interesting in how 90s it looks. It's blue and yellow.
It's Jim Lee Cyclops.
Yeah, it's Jim Lee Cyclops. He's got the little visor that he kind of, I guess, looks like Hot Shot or something in that respect, maybe head
Yeah, a
wise.
little bit.
But he also has like blast effects, claws, effectively. It is
To make
just
Wolverine.
yeah, it's a weird little thing, and he comes with a Sabretooth and Wolverine minifigure.
It's almost like a Psylocke, like her
Yeah,
psi power
yeah.
as the claws.
This is so weird, and I love it.
The thing that bugs me, they're making blast effects for this. They put a Cyclops visor on it, but they did not design any blast effect or compatibility to put an optic blast on it.
Yeah, that is odd.
Which,
All right,
for me, that would have been
so-
like, step one. Make an optic blast for this thing that we're basically making be Jim Lee Cyclops.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful and weird, and I cannot wait to own it.
And this isn't exactly the Blackbird design from the 90s series. That was very genericized, but like everything else about it is absolutely 90s. Sorry, Diecast.
No, I was just gonna say this isn't doing it for me. I don't know, and I love 90s X-Men.
You love 90s X-Men or the 90s X-Men cartoon? Because that's two different things.
Yeah.
90s X-Men cartoon.
Yeah. The cartoon is tangentially X-Men. It's like the Reader's Digest version of X-Men.
That's
Which
the way I prefer to consume it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I liked it, because you didn't have to have all the massive backstory for the comic, because they had to streamline it for the show.
They still sort of assumed that you had some of the backstory.
I hope that visor can flip down. It looks
does.
like
It can.
Well.
But
There's other stock photos. Just one or more shows it with the visor down.
That
that
packaging,
face
though.
is just terrible. That face is
Oh,
absolutely
I love the
terrible.
face. It is so generic. I love the generic nature of the face. I mean, it has character. What do you hate about the face? I mean, it's
The eyes are way too big.
But the visor
I don't
overlap.
know. It doesn't look right to
I mean,
me.
it's very well defined. It's clean. It's clear. I think the face is great.
It looks a little bit like an Alex Milne face design.
Yeah, you're right.
But
The prominent nose.
it looks like someone trying to make something in the style of an Alex Milne face, I think is what I'm trying to say.
I just scrolled down the page a little bit at tfradio.net and saw the additional photos, and he does look much better with the visor down. So I think the problem is with his eyes. They're just way too big.
I mean, those blasts have to come from somewhere.
But
So the weird thing about this is that for pre-order purposes, it's apparently a Target exclusive. But then after March 1st, when it comes out, you'll be able to get it from Pulse and GameStop also.
Oh, I thought I saw this on Pulse.
There's a listing for it on Pulse. The last time I looked, it just said coming soon.
Coming soon.
Okay.
Which will probably be its status until the 1st of March.
Yeah.
Man, Target's getting a lot of stuff.
Target has a lot of money to play with in this new collectibles field that they apparently want to get into.
And Target also expanded their toy section to account for Toys R Us vacuum.
Well,
Yeah.
some Targets have done
Well-
that. It's far from being an across the board.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, but it's based on their proximity to Toys R Us. Also, I guess filling the vacuum, Aldi has Earthrise Deluxe Wave 2. It's not. I mean, at least last Christmas they had authentic stuff, and
Yeah.
they've had Battle Masters and stuff in the past.
And,
Yeah,
and
so it-
Ramhorn. And
Yeah, so that was the last notable thing they had, like mainline product, was that last Titan's Return, Titan Master Wave. Somebody pointed out that one year they had Transformers Prime Viacons, which I'd forgotten about.
Oh
'cause,
yeah,
the last thing I
Yeah.
remembered them having in this vein was Hunt for the Decepticons, a deluxe assortment of that. That's how I got Pterodive and Tomahawk, for example. And then they had Revenge of the Fallen Scouts the year before that. So, it's not unheard of, but it's been a while since they've had something on this order.
yeah, and I mean it's new stuff, so that's impressive, and it's like $18, so it's a little cheaper than. It's not like
it's new to most people, at least, because most of this stuff you can't find it in the stores because Walmart never stocked it.
yeah, and it's not like immediate. Oh, Elf on a Toy shelf. I'm gonna go pick it up and drop it in the box. Something you mentioned last week, though, I believe you mentioned it. And it's great, and I should have mentioned it in the discussion before. But if you have a Five Below, that's always a great place to get donation stuff because it's normally stuff that you might find at Walmart for $20
Yeah.
if they happen to have. They'll have Marvel Legends, they'll have Transformers, so that's a good place to go. I need to hit up Five Below this weekend for
Some
more.
older Mega Construct stuff, even.
Yeah. Okay, so but that's cool. And this. Who reported this? Deadline.
Yeah.
The director of Creed 2, Stephen Cable Jr.
I don't know. That's why I was leaving it to you to mispronounce.
He is going to direct the next.
Well, no. So, I worded this link in here very specifically. Paramount wants Stephen Cable Jr. to direct the next Transformers movie. They are entering negotiations with him and expect it to lead to him being attached to the project. But as of this time, he is not technically the director for whatever the next Transformers movie is going to be.
So I should have not just read Twitter on this, but what I read was it's going to take place in the Bumblebee universe, and Michael Bay has no input creatively, just like the last 4 movies or the last 3.
The Deadline article refers to it as the reimagined Transformers movie universe or something to that effect. So I think that's leading people to assume that it's going to be a follow-up to where Bumblebee had the story going rather than picking up from The Last Night.
So I really like the first Creed. I have kids now, though, so I've not actually been able to watch a movie that I want to watch in 3 years. So
how is that going to affect the Thanksgiving Day Tombstone viewing?
It'll maybe after they go to bed or something.
Gotta have those traditions.
Yeah, but Creed 2 is apparently good. I can't wait to watch it, and like that, and Ford versus Ferrari, and several other things I want to watch that I own on Movies Anywhere eventually that I'll watch. But it's good that hopefully this. Even I don't really care which continuity, quote unquote, that it falls in. As long as Michael Bay doesn't have creative input, it really doesn't matter. So let's hope that they stick to this and Michael Bay has nothing to do with it. Because Bumblebee was good. It was Bay free. So, there you go. Honestly, though, I would just prefer no movies. I know that's a weird thing to say, but like Bumblebee, I like Bumblebee. I don't need another movie right now. I'm good living without another movie, and give me 10 years and put more effort into it. Bumblebee was great, but is Bumblebee like MCU level? Nope. Is it top shelf quality? Action, sci-fi, fantasy material that blockbuster? No. I mean, is that what does Transformers quote unquote deserve that? Who knows? Probably not. But I can just live without a Transformers movie for a while. It just doesn't. We don't have to have one. But if they're going to do it, I want it to be good. Yeah. So that's something. Okay. So. Instead of plugging Amazon, I'm going to plug the Elf on a Toy Shelf again because I think it's important. Because time of year, we are heading into Thanksgiving in the U.S. Distribution of these toys is coming up soon. So, again, reminder. Go to Target does a great job of clearancing out things. Walmart has a clearance aisle where sometimes things are on deep discount.
And sometimes they're the same price with a yellow sticker instead of a white one.
Yeah. So just go look. And Ollie's, if you have an Ollie's, places like that, just go help out. My kids, now they're, like I said, being adopted, but there were years when they basically got nothing except for what was sent home with them from school, which came from a donation box.
I was in the same boat when I was a kid, so
yeah, I know I'm new to this parent thing, but like, my 1-year-old, I just can't imagine life without her. She's like the apple of my eye. And I just think of, Don, be careful with what you're watching. Don, be careful. No, Don.
Sorry.
So,
I thought Don was calling me because I was getting the same notification.
Yeah,
but I can't imagine, being a parent of a kid, and some parents are not great and they aren't going to get their kids anything because they're self-absorbed or they're on drugs or whatever, and those kids might be taken and put into foster care. But there's some parents out there that are just destitute. I can't imagine, my kid being in the situation where she wouldn't get anything. I mean, she's so happy and lively and full of life. Kids like that, all kids deserve something for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever holiday you celebrate. It just breaks my heart thinking about it. I can't imagine a kid not getting something. So, again, Five Below, Ollie's, Walmart, Amazon. We have the tfradio.net/elf wish list that we get no money from whatsoever. That if you can't drop off something in a Dropbox, I'll do it for you. Just go out and help. It's a big deal. There's so many kids out there that are in need, and I mean, again, I've seen it firsthand. I know for a fact there's always more help needed than help provided. So, and my former company, every year they would make a big deal out of, like, I'm not going to name the charities, but people would buy kids, my friend Mark, he would get a child, he would sponsor the child, and he would drop $300-$400 on gifts for that kid. And he would buy the most high quality stuff he can. That's great. That's an awesome choice. But, at the end of the day, a lot of times a kid might get an awesome toy and they might play with the box. My kids will get an awesome toy and they are just drawn to that box. So in my mind, do the best good that you can, the most best good. So go out, look for cheap, inexpensive, high quality, but inexpensive things, and drop as much as you can into a box. If you can buy, again, Play School toys or Fisher Price, things like that. Ollie's always does a great job of having things like that at a low cost. Something that might run $12 at Walmart, they might have for 4. Buy 4 of them, buy 5 of them, drop them in a box, help out 5 kids. Okay, I'm done with my spiel. This is something very important to me. So, but yeah, it's a big deal. I want to thank our patrons at the Touch tier. We have some new patrons at the Touch tier. We'll get to them.
Hooray, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Some of them, at least one, is someone that we know well who upped their donation. Thank you very much. But Kevin Dorsey, Peter Giannakopoulos, Sean Bratton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Jason W. Rye, Sean Hamilton, Mike Mallory, Jason Hiley, who said that once he gets his new system up and running, might be interested in doing History on the Fives with us for patrons. And again, I think Jared had asked earlier if that was one of the shows that we do. Of course, Jared's a big fan. That is a show that we have for patrons only. And if you're a patron at the Touch tier, you can join us as a co-host for that. Jonathan James, Matthew Dedman, Hector Bones, Nathan Sampy, Spider Bob, Rabbits, Emmett Stresovich, Gaming Fix, Patrick Davidson, Joey Russell, Ryan Bona, Starscream's Ghost, buddy of mine, Mega Klutz, and Ness Chalk. Thank you guys so much. You're awesome.
I made him become a Touched patron last week.
You did? You made him?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Well, so he, when I was doing the closing of the show last week, he said something in the chat to the effect of, like, if Chris will say a specific wording for the t-shirts and stuff plug, I'll become a Touched patron as long as they don't get any baseball cards. So I caught that before I was done with the show, and it's like, okay, gonna make you put your money where your mouth is. And so I read off the sentence he put in there, and now he's a Touched patron for at least a month.
Awesome, cool. I did not get a chance. I've just been so busy I didn't get to finish the show. Honestly, I stopped around the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, I So we did 2 for about 5 minutes, and then afterward I kind of wish we could have stopped after the 45-minute.
When I posted the show, like on our Patreon, I got some comments. I got some comments on Twitter. Then I got comments on services that I didn't even realize we were on coming to my mailbox, and I'm like, what in the heck is going on?
And then you got text messages.
Then Diecast emailed me back directly. He's like, yeah, this happened. I'm like, oh, okay.
I probably would have answered back directly too, except that your initial mail on it went to my spam filter instead. That's
cool. But yeah, so those folks can be found at tfradio.net/credits. Again, thank you guys so much, and you guys are awesome. Let's see here. I am personally on Twitter at bkilby and on Instagram at Brian Kilby. You probably can't see it if you're watching the video, but over my left shoulder on the right from what you're seeing right here, I have put up a temporary recording booth, which is basically just moving blankets that have been stapled to the wall to deaden. The acoustics in here suck. But
it's a basement.
Yeah, to deaden the echo. So I can record my Christmas album, which hopefully I'll be doing this weekend and early next week. That'll be posted.
If people want to see more detail, they can check that out on your Twitter because you've been tweeting photos of that.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do, I decided that I'm actually my office is going to have a closet off of it. I'm actually going to put those up and have a little booth in the closet. It's decent size that I can record stuff like that in. So I'm looking forward to that. But you can follow me there. Rob Springer's not here, but he's at RoboRobSpringer on Twitter and at zonebase.org. You can basically find us everywhere, tfradio.net, and apparently Beanpool or Podbean or whatever it's called. We're apparently on Audible now.
Did you get comments through Audible about last week's show?
I don't know. Stuff. So people have told me that they've been having some issues with Google Play Podcasts or Google's podcast service. Everybody has a podcast service now. I think that should be fixed. I emailed Google a month ago and they finally responded. So hopefully that's done. Yeah, but basically any place you can find podcasts, we're there. I think. Yes. I'm confirming that is true. Basically any place you can find podcasts. Rob, how do people get a hold of you?
Okay, I can be found at Figure Reviewers and Rob Flails on Twitter. Rob Flails is the Twitter where I talk about video game stuff mostly, and is the official Twitter of my YouTube channel, Flailthroughs. That is still covering Gundam games for the PS4 at the moment. Gundam Battle Operation 2 is still going along nicely. This last week's mobile suit was the Dovin Wolf, which hits like a truck and can take about 3 swings from a double Zeta Gundam before it drops. So
that sounds good overall.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds awesome.
I mean, it takes significantly more beam saber damage to kill something in Gundam Battle Operation 2 than it does in any Gundam anime. I'll put it that way. So
at least the Dovin Wolf is a name that you can believe is actually the name of something.
Yes.
Unlike Zissa.
Yes, God. But yeah, but
does Wu Fei or Zex Marquis pilot that one?
No, that is a different timeline. Okay. So yeah. So every Thursday there will be an update video for the game on my channel. And if I've gotten the week's mobile suit that night, that'll be up that day too. And if you like what I'm doing there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can throw a couple bucks at me, request specific combinations of things. And if you'd rather just, throw stuff at me, there is tfradio.net/playlist.
Sweet. Awesome. John.
That John D everywhere.
And also in quarantine at home.
Yes, won't you be my little quarantine? I'm out of quarantine. That's a song. Kids listen to it.
Really?
You old man. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Level of concern. That was on the charts for a while. Expand your minds. You have children, Brian. Listen to the top 40. Anyway, there are quarantine and COVID-19 like pop songs now.
Yeah, I guess there would have to be.
Well, yeah, we've been doing this for a while. Anyway.
Well, yeah, there's literally nothing else to do.
Yes, I am that John D everywhere.
Diecast, looking at his phone.
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2, like my Facebook review or like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. Brian's making funny faces, makes me laugh. And
Took
you
my
can
sunglasses
also
off.
you can also follow me or see all my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews. And yes, I ordered that Bluebird $65.
Blackbird.
It's blue.
It is. You're right. Bluebird should be what it's called.
It's comic book black. We were having this discussion in the Discord.
Oh,
last
like Spider-Man
night,
and Batman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I ordered that.
So
or
is
like Tony Stark's hair.
Is comic book black? Is it because it's a highlight, or is it because it's a 4-color printing process that's causing issues?
Well, it was originally because of the printing process, and now I think it's just tradition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like whenever I see Spider-Man and he's actually red and black, I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like everything kind of just forgot. Like this is supposed to not be blue, but everything produced merchandise and everything in blue because nobody understands why it's blue in the first place. So now Spider-Man's just red and blue.
Yeah, the way it should be. Don.
I'm reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4, EVR.
Chris.
My photography work can be seen at playwithphotography.com. I have galleries. I posted an article just recently about a new lens I bought, the actual macro lens instead of just using macro extender rings for my camera. So I kind of talked about the experience I had actually using a macro lens for photography and how it compares to the extension rings and whether extension rings are something that's worth buying with, legitimate lenses out there or if one really replaces the other. So definitely go give that a read. I already had some comments on that. One person found it helpful enough to actually put that on one of their own Amazon wish lists for hopefully Christmas purchase this year.
I'm sorry I'm not following your camera anymore. You're using Canon now, not Nikon, right?
Sony.
Oh, okay. The A7?
No, I can't afford an A7. This is the A6100.
Okay.
So the A7 and the A6100 technically use the same mount. You can put a lens from one camera on the other one, but since one's a full frame camera and the one I have isn't, if you put the lenses for the A6100 on A7, you're going to get vignetting around. Like it'll have a circle in the middle because it's not spreading the light on the whole sensor because the opening's not made for it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
But it's essentially like physically it's the same mounting. The lens just has to be constructed in a little bit different way. And like as much as I'd like to have a full frame camera, the lenses for APS-C, while still expensive, are so much cheaper. Plus, I've been pretty happy with a lot of the results I've been getting in I'd say the last year, basically since I switched up to the A6100 and started really seriously working with it. And like a full frame camera would be cool to have for like just that extra little bit of detail it would probably capture, but I'm also getting like a really pleasing amount of detail out of my photos as it is. So I don't feel as much of a need to like go even higher end than I am at this point.
Gotcha.
I also have several galleries up over the last week. So I have galleries for Core Class, Rat Trap, and Optimus from Kingdom. I'm really like those two galleries in particular of my recent work. I'm really, really happy with how those turned out. So please go definitely take a look at those. Other galleries have unlocked from Patreon early access. So there's Sunstreaker, Run Amok, and technically Trailbreaker is publicly accessible, but you have to go through the Patreon page to do that because they haven't put the blog post up for it yet that actually links to the gallery. So it's out there. You just kind of have to dig for it. I'll try to get that fixed before this weekend. If you like the work I'm doing or you want to get early access, you can become a patron for as little as $2 per month. That will get you into the early access tier, which I call insert name. Or no, that's not even insert name. It's just early access. Insert name is the $5 tier, and that puts you on the credits image that goes with every new gallery. $2 may not sound like a lot, may not even seem like it's worth doing, but $2 here, $2 there, it all adds up over time, and every little bit that goes back into this helps so much. It's through patrons I'm able to afford every year renewal of my domains, my hosting, and anything else that comes in over the year goes back into things like that macro lens I bought, or the things I photograph. Background materials, I bought several rolls of new background material just recently because I kind of got on a kick with that, and I'm so happy I did. I got this one, which is like a concrete texture. What it is, it's a shelf liner, an adhesive vinyl shelf liner with a concrete pattern, and I love so much how that looks for backgrounds. I should do some kind of an article talking about just ways to find inexpensive background materials, because this roll of shelf liner was like $12, and it is just it's the most beautiful background material I've used in quite some time. See, that's the fun thing I find about this. There's just like always ways to do it inexpensively, and it can give you such surprisingly good results too. Of course, then I buy these professional studio lights and macro lenses and stuff, extension rings and stuff. So you can be expensive about it too if you want to, but you don't have to, and that's kind of the cool part. If you want to follow on social media for random photos, I tweet. I also tweeted from at Play with Photos talking about the Earthrise figures at Aldi in the US. So I do try to get some toy information out there through that too, not just self-promotion. So at Play with Photos on Twitter, and also Instagram.com/playwithphotography. Personally, I'm on Twitter at ChrisRTXV. I just recently posted a screenshot of Neelix's feet. But despite that, you should follow me anyway. I also have an Amazon wishlist at tfradio.net/ChrisList, and I'll be shameless about this. Christmas is coming up. If you would like to just do a nice thing for me, that's cool. I've got things on there that are reasonable for casual gifts. So I also have things that are more expensive on there, that like DVD sets of Star Trek series and Babylon 5. And Babylon 5 I can't watch anymore because it's not streaming for free on Amazon now. Damn it. So, various things like that. And if you go through that URL, the purchases you make to give me something nice will also give a little bit back to the show to, do something nice for the show.
Oh, the Point Dread set is on there.
Yeah, and it's a little bit below SRP the last I looked too.
Yeah, mine just mine hit my pile of loot like 3 days after I shipped my pile of loot. So
for the first month, the Point Dread set was up on Amazon. It was only available through Marketplace for $85, $90. That was ridiculous.
Oh, Perfect Strangers is on DVD.
Yeah, so they had done seasons 1 and 2 a long time ago. I think that actually might be out of print at this point. But when they got back around to it, doing season 3 and onward, it was from HD transfers that they made, and it looks really good. The last couple times I visited Hey Mickey, which was into last year, actually even the year before that, I think a lot of the time we spent was just watching Perfect Strangers episodes, because that show surprisingly holds up. It is for a 90s sitcom, it is super high quality still. The jokes all still land, even if they're a little bit dated, and the production values in that show are just it's surprising what they put into a given episode of that.
That's awesome. Great show.
Like a whole apartment full of exploding pastries.
Cool.
And then the plumbing episode.
Cool. Anything else?
If so, I've forgotten, just because I started thinking about Perfect Strangers instead.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. So I guess we'll be back next week with our Thanksgiving episode, which doesn't
Bye, everybody.
Doesn't really mean anything.
Maybe Brian will talk about Tombstone because it's Thanksgiving.
I'm your Huckleberry. Okay, sweet. Let's see here. What is going on?
I didn't get a chance to ask before the show, Brian. How is your daughter doing now that she's out of the hospital?
So she came out Friday. Then we had to take her back to the ER on Saturday.
Oh God!
Because she had a bad rotavirus and also a secondary UTI that was just completely threw her for a loop. She was completely miserable. She couldn't keep food down for. Honestly, it was Sunday before she could start keeping food down. So they had her on IVs all the way from Tuesday morning through Friday morning.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. But now she is great. So
Good.
Yeah, she's eating and everything. And Friday afternoon we finalize our adoption, so we're gonna give her cake and ice cream, and she's going to be able to keep that down. So that'll be good. So
Good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah. Hey, and things may vary by state. And I'm not. This is not a brag. This is a stupid brag. This is a maybe somebody might be listening, and it might make them more interested in adopting. So, she is 4, but she's been with us for 2.5 years, so she has no memory of any other home. Us, and even with the 8-year-old, we are her parents, and she thinks of us as her parents, and blah blah blah. But with the
So sentimental.
yeah, so well, I mean, it's important. It's an important thing.
You know how I am.
Yeah, it's an important thing. But I will say this: so even though they're adopted and they're our kids legally, they are keeping their Medicaid. So we don't have to put them on our insurance. And because they're considered at-risk kids, we're actually going to get a small stipend every month,
Oh, wow.
which we don't get now. So that's interesting. So it's not a lot of money, but it's enough to cover food and clothes, which we've been paying for out of pocket. So
Yeah.
So if anybody out there, was like, oh, I would be interested in adopting, but I can't afford it or whatever, check with your local social services or child protective services. You might actually, they might actually cover the cost of basic childhood needs. I had no idea they were going to do that until basically a month ago. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
And if we had adopted them a little bit later, say like the 8-year-old, almost 9-year-old, if we had adopted her at 12, she would, in North Carolina anyway, she would get free in-state tuition for any state school.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we have great state schools here. That's somehow surprising, but it's but we do. So, but yeah, apparently adopting a kid is pretty cost effective, and again, it's a way to help out. I think everybody who's in the position to do it and would have interest in doing it should consider it. But, it's actually a better deal, I guess, than I expected. And again, not that we had no idea it was happening. We love our kids and they're our kids, but it's still pretty cool. Ness is like, Guard City is good as got. No, it's not that much. Actually, now that Artfire sold the 2 Guard Cities that they had, I cannot find a Guard City now for less than $3,000.
And you probably won't for quite some time.
Yeah, which means I'm not going to get one.
Oh, let's be real. You weren't going to get one anyway anytime soon.
I came so close on multiple occasions.
Yes, but then house. Yeah, I think there was at least one after you closed on the house.
Honestly, that Laserdisc, the sealed.
Oh, that's right.
The sealed,
yeah.
The sealed copy of the Laserdisc ended up being like half of the Guard City that I was looking at, and I just opted to go for that because of how insanely.
Yeah, that's much more unique and unusual than a Guard City, in my opinion.
Yeah, just in the sense that I don't know how many sealed copies of that are out there.
Yeah,
I have never come across one. Actually, Flint Dilly's copy of the Laserdisc just sold.
For how much?
Less than I would have thought. So the guy that I bought the sealed copy of the 98 Laserdisc also had his 89 Laserdisc for sale. And honestly, the price on it was less than I would have thought. The guy sold his excellent his copy that's in excellent condition. It sold for $400. The Flint Dilly one, which one it is in comparable condition, not as good, but it's comparable. And two, it was owned by Flint Dilly. Ended up going for 3, and I would have thought it would have gone for more.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, I did end up buying something out of Flint Dilly's collection, and I can't. Person who I bought it for may be watching, so I can't go into much more detail than that. But as a gift, I picked up something out of his collection that I hopeful will be pretty cool.
Get some Gem in the Holograms production materials for Triplet.
Yes.
Of course, then Triplet will listen to this, and then whenever you reveal what it was and who it was for, Triplet will be like, "Oh."
He actually Triplet already knows. Because I shared that with him in a text. But yeah, so it's just funny that somebody's selling stuff from Flint Dilly's collection. I guess at some point I'll be selling stuff out of my collection when I'm older. And,
Well, yeah, but you're no Flint Dilly.
well, I'm just saying that at some point when I expect that I need to start sending out stuff now. But
Yeah, Don, when does that happen?
you know who? Don, you're muted. Don, I muted you a while ago because there was a lot of noise coming from your end.
Did Don even get to plug his social media?
Sorry.
I thought
Yeah,
he did. Yeah,
I
he
did.
I think I went to him second.
I wasn't paying attention.
So actually,
Okay,
the person I think
Sorry, Brian. I didn't realize you were getting any noise from me. I'm sorry about that. I must have been breathing again.
No, there was some kind of weird background noise. I heard it too, but I
Yeah.
can't do anything about it.
the person I think who
Yeah,
may
I've
have
got
it worse
nothing.
than Don though is Sean. Sean was telling me about all the storage buildings that he has full of crap,
Oh boy.
and I'm like,
Oh yeah, that's if I can get this lower back muscle to not be pulling when I move and get my sciatic nerve in the back of my leg to calm down where it's not like throbbing after work, I am going to try to, because I want to get a big like an eBay or Twitter sales list up for the holidays to move some stuff. Because them figure art Sailor Scouts ain't gonna pay for themselves. But
"Hey Don, you going to sell your Dungeons and Dragons statues?"
oh hell no!
Okay,
You're gonna be buried.
I got
with them.
I got them at 25% off retail. No way. Well. See, considering I had a chance to buy 6 of the 7 figures at 25% off, and now places are like, well, they've got these 2 but not the rest, or these 2 and not the rest. So it's getting hard to get a complete set. So yeah, I'm happy.
I like that Don's level of sentimental attachment to something has as much to do with the deal he got on it when he bought it as anything else.
Well, no, see, it's like the stuff.
That's just such a Don thing.
Well, no, it's just, that's why I haven't sold a lot of my stuff, is because if I ever want to replace it, I'll never be able to replace it for what I got it for. I got Overlord for $75.
you could buy an Overlord for
I'm
$75 now. It's just gonna be garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's just, again, it's, but yeah, I do want to, if I can ever get to the point where I'm not in pain and working a 12-hour day, then I'm going to try to put a bunch of stuff up on eBay and Twitter to get some
I
stuff.
have bad news for you, Don. You're going to be in pain for the rest of your life that you're working 12-hour days, and also the rest of your life after you're working 12-hour days.
Yeah, that I know. I'm hoping the holodeck will kick in any time now, and I can, avoid that.
I instead of that, I would recommend more drugs.
What is this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
What?
Oh, I'm buying this for next week.
What? Who? I
am not going to tell you.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe I should tell you.
You could tell us in chat if you don't want to give it away to the audience.
Yes, and look who the seller is. Or
this
not,
should be interesting.
Not the seller necessarily, but I'm buying it.
Let's see. That. And let's see.
Oh,
yeah, okay, that's interesting.
It's interesting, but like
Yeah.
it's whoa. It's listed as from the Disney store.
Yeah, that's the interesting part.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. No, I thought maybe you found someone that had Kingdom Rodimus in stock. Sorry,
No.
I'm getting a little fixated
Studio
on Kingdom
series.
Hot Rod. This dude, sorry, Studio Series Hot Rod. I'm getting a little fixated on getting one.
Yeah, now in Kingdom it'll be Rodimus Prime. That's supposedly the Commander class figure for this coming year.
Oh, I don't remember hearing about that.
Okay, well, spoilers.
Yeah.
I would be
Whoa,
all
Hot
about
Rod
Commander
becomes
class
Rodimus
Rodimus.
Hot Rod becomes Rodimus Prime. Why didn't anyone tell me this?
So, but considering how garbage MPO9 is, I would be all about a really nice large Rodimus.
Well, yeah, and what I've heard
and now
about this is that it's a Commander class toy because it's taking after the G1 toy in that it's going to have the full trailer that does the battle platform thing. So, like, the Rodimus Prime figure itself is not going to be, Commander height. It's just going to be a regular figure with a big ass accessory.
But the thing is, like, to scale, he should be comparable to Optimus when it comes
and
to
I'm
mass.
sure he will be.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you think about it, like a Commander class toy that has a... Actually, I guess I should characterize it this way. If Optimus Prime, Earthrise Optimus, if that had a trailer with like all the parts inside of it and like the trailer was more in proportion to the vehicle, that would have bumped up to a Commander class versus being a Leader class. So you'd get a robot about the same size as that Optimus, maybe even a little bit taller, and then a more complicated trailer to go with it to be the battle station.
Like,
Because I'll be honest,
Go ahead.
because I mean, Power of the Prime's Rodimus wasn't bad.
No.
It had its flaws, but I think they pulled off the whole evolution gimmick pretty well. Other than the mismatched reds, that's kind of a. That's
and
kind
we'll
of
probably have that again.
Yeah, it's kind of. Well, Ironhide certainly does. It's like I said. I said on Twitter, the reds on Ironhide bother me a lot more than the yellows on Sunstreaker, which kind of surprised
They're
me.
more evident, yeah.
I can't understand why this says it's a Disney licensed product. If it was Robots in Disguise, that would make sense.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that either. That's kind of weird.
Maybe in some markets, that was on a Disney channel.
Oh, this is coming from a third-party retailer. So maybe it's just dumb, bad data. But hey, this is
probably.
But this is an interesting item. One, it looks to be new, and I still want it. The kids will like it.
Yeah, I hope you get that whole display carton with it.
Yeah.
Because that's like half the fun. But yeah, Commander Class Rodimus is apparently what's going to be happening for...
Is there a Commander character that deserves Commander Class more? Oh, I forgot I have something else on the way.
Starsaber.
Yeah,
Starsaber
makes the most amount of sense for the whole evolution gimmick.
Well, I mean, no, not even that. Just like for the mass of the character, like Commander Class would be appropriate.
Right.
But no, there's not like a ton of characters that necessarily fit that price point, and like Rodimus Prime kind of works because they can sink a lot of that into the trailer.
And St. Galvatron said Power Master Optimus needs to be Commander Class, and I will agree.
Can see that
1,000%.
Oh yeah, we've been over that before.
Yeah.
That would definitely be something.
And a Star Convoy, but we don't need another Star Convoy.
We need a better Star Convoy.
We need a Star Convoy that I'm not afraid to handle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could handle the small robot. There's nothing wrong with that. I like that small robot a lot.
Now it would be super niche, and I don't know how.
Fire Convoy, yeah.
Yeah, Fire Convoy and Diatlas.
Yeah, Overlord.
Diatlas would be a really good Commander Class figure, but that's so like
Grandis.
Niche. Well, no, Grandis is the
Grandis
box.
Is Titan. Yeah.
Grandis is the box he comes in.
God, Titan Grandis would be just the worst toy.
I would actually say Overlord should probably be the first Decepticon Commander Class figure.
Yeah.
Ooh, Skyquake.
Well, Skyquake could also work as a leader, though, just as well.
Sky Gary is. I mean, I agree with Weebot, but Sky Gary is so niche
pretty
like
out
that.
there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I mean, at that point, might as well just say Galaxy Shuttle.
Well, now a Galaxy Shuttle that would interact.
Just for notoriety.
Yeah,
notoriety
just but I'm trying to think like from like a Thunderclash.
Yeah,
Commander,
Thunderclash would work on the same basis as Rodimus.
Yeah, that would really work nice.
I love that. Tidal Wave.
Taco Tank.
We've.
That's what I want.
Title.
A Commander class Taco Tank.
Oh yeah.
Blade Raider must have suggested that.
No, I think he fell asleep.
Oh. Tiger Hawk. Oh, now in Kingdom,
Tiger Hawk would be great.
Tiger Hawk would be a great Commander class mold if they do a
Voyager,
Kingdom.
Silverbolt.
Yeah.
Man,
So,
Actually, for that matter, do Commander class Rampage if you get into Transmetals.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
You'd think half the mass just into the claws.
Oh my god, I want that now.
What?
Rampage.
Oh yeah, that would be because I wonder if
Demolisher. Demolisher, John. Yes.
Voyager Demolisher.
Yeah, I wonder if
Rampage
the
class.
transmetal coding technology has advanced enough so it won't start turning into metallic dandruff at this point.
Well,
I need to pursue the entire Transmetal and Transmetal 2 line like sealed. It's not. It's a good chunk of toys, but not so many that it's impossible.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got
good luck actually getting like a mint condition Transmetal 2 Scourge.
Scourge. Yeah, that's
yeah.
So Don, as for the Chrome thing, it's hard to remember specifically, but I believe there was issues with the Chrome on Leader Class Jetfire chipping very, very soon after it was released.
Yeah, that's right. So and that wasn't that old of a figure. So probably
that was 2014.
Yeah, so probably it's not advanced enough to try to negate that, which would be kind of sad because you don't want to have you don't want everything to look like Transmetal Rat Trap. You pick it up and then there's.
I would say instead of doing Chrome, just do like decent quality metallic paint to get the same kind of intent out of it, but without the highly destructible material.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Now again, Road Caesar. Again, but the thing is, though, that's so Japanese for the Japanese market. I will say, Road Caesar definitely needs a better toy because the G1 toy is just not. It just is not good. But yeah, Commander, there's a lot. I still want. I know this is no big surprise. Everyone's going to take a drink. I still want Skylink's redone as the Purple Griffin. I don't know why I want that so bad. I just do.
It's not going to happen, but I can see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, it's just.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. We just need a flipping new Guard City and Battle Gaia.
Well,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying that literally since 2015.
DevCon. I don't think DevCon will fit into Kingdom though.
Or Commander class.
Or Commander, but
John's saying we need to finish the double target masters. Who's left?
Well, we hit landfill.
We need to finish the regular target masters. We still don't have a
I thought we got.
did
we not get a landfill?
No.
Scoop.
Well, we got Scoop. We didn't get a landfill or a quick. We got Quick Mix, but we got Quick Mix and Cybertron.
That doesn't count.
But I'm just saying, as far as the name.
For whatever reason, I thought we got a landfill, but we didn't. No, you're absolutely right.
We got landfill in 2001, and then again 2002 and 2003. It was all the same toy, but they kept using it.
I don't know why, but I was imagining. I thought we had a Generations landfill, but no, we don't.
Yeah, it's just Scoop.
Just Scoop.
Scoop was my favorite.
Scoop's nice, but yeah.
Yeah. And we got Quake, but we didn't get Needle Nose. We still don't have Needle Nose.
Sinister, but we
still have no Needle Nose.
I actually would like a better Quake than what we have.
Well, yeah, it's a good toy, but it's
It's a good toy, but it's not a good Quake.
Yeah, it's a name, slapped onto a good toy.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the Croc we got at the same time, I'm happy with that as Croc because, like, those colors look really good on that toy. That toy in that use feels better than the original version because, like, tolerances all came out correctly. And, like, there's no reason not to have Croc be a crocodile.
And the headmaster is Fulcrum. So
that's fine, but Quake, I want to actually, like, have a new toy that is Quake.
Yeah, I mean, I want the original Target Masters because we didn't get point blank sure shot. Yeah, we got crosshairs, but only in Siege.
Yeah,
and he was only
so boring.
No, I don't know. I really like. That's a very interesting transformation.
No, he's boring, but he's necessary for the team.
Yes.
There's
we still got
one in every group,
and we still got Power Masters we never got.
We didn't get.
I am still shocked that we have not gotten Selects, Buster, and Hydra yet. That seems like that would have been like one of the first things.
I thought Takara would have been all over that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's right there.
It might have just been too close to what they actually released, though.
I think so.
Yeah. Now I
but
wonder.
It's not something they wouldn't revisit in another year or two after those toys are a little bit farther in the past.
You would have figured it would have popped up in a box set because Takara still hasn't done anything with that Starscream torso.
Necessary throttle bots, which I agree.
Well, I think the Bug Bite, Hubcap, Cliff Jumper, Bumblebee, I think eventually they'll do some throttle bots with those as it's close enough kind of thing. But here's something I just thought of, Chris. We'll see what y'all think. The Spinister mold as Death Cobra that comes with Slitherfang.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I'd buy it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably supposed to.
It's not really what I'd be looking for in that.
It's a good mold. It's a good mold, and it comes with the Slitherfang. So yeah, I'd buy it.
Yep. And we got. And the good thing is, if they decide to reuse Studio Series 86, we'll get Ricochet from that Jazz. Probably, hopefully, anyway. If they do Inferno, we may get
Inferno's on the list for Kingdom.
Yeah, so we may get a Selects Artfire from that because they got plenty of Battle Masters to give Target Masters to everybody.
Why are you calling him Ricochet? I figured you'd be a stepper guy.
That's just Ricochet is what I thought of. I'm looking at Ricochet. I'm looking at the Make Toys. What was the Make Toys?
I can't imagine they'd give us another Generation Select stepper. At this
but they use the Jazz one, so that doesn't really count because that always sucks. It does.
I'm not saying they won't do stepper. I'm just saying I don't think it'd be a Selects at this point.
Amazon,
Amazon or something. See, that's the thing about Selects is they're so and like we've talked about Red. I know y'all weren't really heads up on the Red figures, but the potential for getting characters in that Red line where transformation is not that important, Transmutate, Nightbird, Botanica.
They won't do.
Yeah,
they might do Nightbird.
Yeah, Nightbird's possible.
Yeah. But I mean, Botanica would be perfect for the Red line.
You don't even like Beast Machines. What are you talking?
But Botanica never got a decent figure. She never got a figure at all.
Okay, in that case, do Red, Jetstorm, and Thrust.
Don, your favorite Night Scream.
God, no. I will burn it. Night Scream's an annoying little prick.
A Red Supreme Cheetor.
Ah.
No.
A Red Titanium Supreme Cheetor.
Except the Titanium Cheetor was actually
Transmetal
Beast Machine's Cheetor toy.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so much potential with the Selects on doing, things that because we've all said it before. This design group knows about the deep cuts. I mean, we got Tiger Track from Sideswipe is obvious to us.
Technically, they all do because they have access to the archives.
Right, but I'm saying I think this.
But this team is dedicated to making these
Yeah,
things.
this team is a
happen.
fan of those things.
Yeah, you know
They have the will to do it, not just the knowledge that it exists.
right, and well, you know, there's so much I would like to see. It's just I don't know if we're ever going to see some of this stuff. It'd be I don't know.
We've seen some weird stuff from this team, so I wouldn't, discount anything at this point.
Yeah, who would have expected Spin Out?
Right?
And Corden.
Yeah,
I mean,
Generations Corden.
Yeah.
The archives can mean TF Wiki Blade Raider, but Hasbro does also have their own internal reference materials, allegedly.
Yeah.
Stuff
I
that
say allegedly just because of how much stuff actually ends up coming out where it's obviously sourced from a Google image search.
or yeah, but I would love to see what they've got. And John,
FireCons,
yeah, that would. I would probably buy it. I would probably buy that. He goes, I don't know. I'm sad.
Well, that's a whole different conversation, Don.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of stuff we still would want and arguably need to see.
I mean, we've got like the best Optimus Prime we've ever gotten in the retail line with Earthrise, so we're good on Prime. We really don't need another Prime for quite a while.
I've said it before. The only way I would want to see Optimus Prime anytime again is if you do like a leader class G2 Optimus Prime.
Which you can kind of cobble together between the Netflix version of the cab robot, the Nemesis trailer, and some stickers.
I'm talking about the extended cab Optimus G2 Optimus Prime.
The heroes.
Yeah.
Hero Optimus. Hero Optimus.
Okay.
Something different in an Optimus Prime toy, or the Commander class Power Master Prime, because you need that plastic mass to properly do, Power Master.
And to actually put the Power Master in there.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm good on Optimus Primes. I don't need any.
I mean, we're good on Optimus. I think, Siege Megatron is fine for Megatron. I don't. He's never going to be a gun. He's pretty much a tank from pretty much from now on out.
Well, he could be a boat or a submarine.
Someone asked me, and I think it was Jared in the chat before we started, what things we want to see. My big thing for Earthrise, and I mentioned this before, I wanted Megatron to be like the hovercraft, like the whale, because he can fly in robot mode, and so therefore he would have a water counterpart to fight on water. So that way he would kind of have like the whole land, sea, and air thing covered.
Wait,
I don't know what I want out of a Megatron, because like the tank thing is really on the nose, but there are so many tank transformers. Like Megatron feels like he should be distinct.
So Hey Mickey had a really good idea about what a Megatron could or should be, which is just a howitzer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, actually, Don, you made me think of something. I know you're talking about Megatron, but this made me think. So, 35 years ago this week, a Sea Change debuted. I want a Pretender Sea Spray.
That would really work.
Yes, it would.
That would really work. It's weird stuff we're never gonna get.
Yeah.
But, I would love.
At least until Eric becomes a Hasbro employee and works his way up to the Transformers team, and
Hero changed.
manipulate him.
Eric changed majors, so I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Oh.
Well, way to give up, Eric.
Yeah.
Jeez. Now, where am I going to get my leader class hooligan from, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You've ruined my life, Eric.
Yeah, I think he lost interest. I think he lost interest when all of his classes were like they were making him design chairs instead of like actually interesting things.
Yeah. So was it Awa or who? Somebody was talking about their industrial design stuff that they did years ago, and a lot of it was chairs. I mean, that was like 15 years ago.
I mean, what? To me, that makes sense, and
start with the basics.
Yeah,
it's like any kind of discipline like that. You're going to go through a lot of intermediate steps that are not what you want to be in this field for, but is absolutely necessary in order to grasp and comprehend the very fundamentals of designing stuff that is the stuff you want to design. It's just like taking formal art training. Like, yeah, they're going to have you draw cubes and bowls of fruit and stuff, no matter what you ultimately want to do with the skills you're trying to develop, because you need that knowledge.
Well, it's not like you're living in the Blackthorn How to Draw Transformers comic, where it's like you start with a circle.
I wish.
It's like you start with a circle, and then you're at your finished product, and then it's a completely different
I did done. So Blackthorn did a How to Draw Transformers comic,
separate
from their 3D stuff.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 issues on how to draw. I know there's at least 1 or 2 on how to draw Transformers.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than the Dreamwave
Oh
version,
my
where it's
god!
just, 3 panels and.
Did you find it, Brian?
Yes.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
The one thing I remember about the Blackthorn 3D when I was buying it is Ultra Magnus and Cyclonus run into each other on a moon, and they share the same word bubble, Deceptibots. And that's all. It's like because Cyclonus and they're both shouting at the same time, but they're sharing the bubble, so it's like Deceptibots. And I'm thinking that why has no one? That's kind of like a cool thing. Is they're just that one panel has always stuck out to me from the Blackthorn series.
Oh my god, the How to Draw Transformer stuff is expensive.
The comics?
Yeah. So right here, $30 is the cheapest I'm seeing. How to Draw Transformers.
On my copies and sell them.
The 3D stuff is still cheap. I mean, that's everybody's got those. I think who want them. Actually, I sold my copies of those years ago. I should go back and rebuy those. Except for issue 3 is expensive. That was the rare. That was the last.
So, Weebot suggests going back to like 2 subjects ago, an ICBM truck for Megatron. So, that sort of goes back. I think that was one of the concepts they showed at the BotCon, where they were in G1 or something. Like there was a concept of maybe doing a Megatron based on Double Dealer. So that's sort of along that line.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how Megatron would have unless they changed the bird mode to a jet, but then it'd be very, very Titans Return broadside jets, which isn't much of a jet.
Yeah, but I mean, for as much impact as those bird parts have on Double Dealer, otherwise,
you just
ignore
them off. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about while back the Commander class.
Yeah.
E-Gus just brought this up. The Heavy Metal War, the giant hologram robot that Hound creates to distract.
Yeah, I've heard that suggested before. I think that's probably a little bit. I think it's probably a little bit like niche and maybe a little obscure even for an $80 toy.
We're getting the last Autobot as a Titan class.
Yeah,
you can't rule these stuff out anymore.
The Titan class turns into the last Autobot, but it's being sold as the Arc or Autobot.
We're still getting it.
But I'm not prepared to rule out the niche stuff anymore.
I think you still have to,
that's way more niche than Heavy Metal War.
I think you still have to have it in like the frame of reference which it's being marketed, which is, this is Autobot headquarters or the Arc. That's the thing people are going to recognize from it. And then, through online materials or something on the packaging, you explain in whatever vague terms, like the idea of what it transforms into for the people who don't get that part. Whereas the robot, which has a name, as far as I can recall. I just can't remember what it specifically is. The hologram robot allegedly has a name.
Yeah, I saw it recently. Somebody mentioned it recently. I don't remember what it was, though.
Like, that's something that has to be explained from the ground up, basically.
No.
There's not any element of that is a familiar image or idea that you then add on to using that as a starting point. So that's like, yes, the last Autobot is absolutely an obscure thing to make a Titan toy out of partly, but that's also not like the distinct purpose of this Titan class release.
If we're going Commander class, Broadside could always use a better toy because
Broadside could use a much better toy.
Titan Return is not a very good toy. Like
I forgot it existed.
I'm looking at it right now.
How can you forget that wonderful jet mode?
It's sad that the Alpha Trion is the better toy of the two things that use the engineering. And that's a spaceship that's half a lion.
So I'm reading back through here all the stuff people mentioned that they would like to see as a commander class. What I'd like to see, and I know I'm probably the only person that's going to say this, and I don't know that anybody has said it. Cybertron, Megatron.
I mean, that makes sense to me. I don't necessarily think it needs to be a commander class as such, but like for the frame of reference of the original toy, yes.
Now, Brian, when you mean the Batmobile Megatron?
Yes.
Because I think Blade Raider mentioned
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause that would be a pretty nice.
Just for
robot.
for the robot mode to be large, not because the car needs to be large.
Yeah.
Yeah, something, a character that matches that kind of.
Yeah,
heft.
the original leader class toy, like Rodimus Supreme says, is the same size as a commander class. Actually, might be maybe even a hair larger.
When Titans Return Overlord came out, and I was talking about it, Rob suggested even grabbing Tidal Wave, because I'm sure I had that actually handy around here at the time, and just like doing the side-by-side comparison of what a $25 toy was in 2003 versus the $50 toy in 2016 or 17, whatever that was. Because Tidal Wave does kind of dwarf Overlord.
Yeah, except I've got a photo somewhere of my Tidal Wave and Overlord side by side. Let me see if I can find it. Just specifically photograph that.
Commander class Signal Lancer. It's a giant stoplight.
You could actually. Obviously, this isn't really relevant to toys and molds that are available now, but like totally, Tidal Wave in Overlord colors in its time could have totally been an acceptable Overlord substitute in like Universe or something.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I'd have bought it.
Yeah.
I'd have bought it, but I love that mold, and those are beautiful colors on anything. So that may be a bad example.
Now, I wonder if they would ever do anything big like the Titans Return Optimus Prime, Optimal Optimus kind of thing, but they could do it like Universe Optimus colors.
See if this shows
Universe
up.
Primal colors.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Basically, right? Like the same height at least.
I've never put them side by side, but roughly, yeah. They're pretty darn close, yeah.
I mean, they were each other's years, or they were their respective years, biggest Decepticon toys, and they were basically in the same size category.
Yeah, here's the photo I can share with you guys.
And actually, if you think about it, like Master Force must have been such a stupidly expensive toy year, because you had Overlord, Black Zarek, Grand Maximus, God Jinrai. You had a ton of these like giant toys, and of course, like the SRPs on them were comparably lower because the economies have changed since then. But like for the money of that time, they had to be really expensive.
Well, the weird thing is though, because when I got the stuff that I picked up back in the day, it was still everywhere. I mean that's how come I got it so cheap, is all these Japanese stores that I was dealing with through magazines and such had tons of this stuff in stock. And they were still, 2 years after, 3 years after Master Force Victory had ended, or was getting ready to end at that point, and it was everywhere.
Yeah, and that kind of makes. I mean, it's the same thing you see with like Sentai toys at the end of the year. That stuff they discount it so heavily because they don't want it sitting around, and it will sit around after the show is not current anymore.
Huh. I'm looking at pictures of my toy collection from like 1998, and there's stuff in there. I'm like, what in the hell happened to that?
You sold it.
Well, there's stuff in here that like it wouldn't make any sense for me to even sell. Like this Junker Scorponok that I have. Like nobody would
Probably
buy that.
donated it.
Maybe.
Donated or gave it away.
Yeah.
Still sitting at one of your 3 houses.
Yeah.
Brian's 60s sitcom, My Three Houses.
So here's a Mitten
Or was
box.
that late 50s?
Mitten Sold Box
Sons.
Magmatron, and I don't even know if I still have that or not.
Don, was My Three Sons the 50s or the 60s?
Both.
I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure it's both because it went from black and white to color, so I'm pretty sure it was both.
Was My Three Sons in color at some point? I only remember black and white episodes.
Yeah, so there's the black and white colors with Bub and the color episodes with Charlie.
Okay, it's possible. Like I was very young when the reruns of that were on, where I could see them. I may never have actually caught any color episodes in the rotation.
Yeah, I can tell you the names of the uncle / male housekeeper on My Three Sons, but I can't tell you the names of my coworkers. Huh.
Well, I mean, functionally, right now, your coworkers are cats, I think.
Buddy and Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Supreme
looks like my
Cheetor.
brother gets to do that starting tomorrow. That's going to be nice.
What, Rob?
Oh, it looks like my brother gets to start working from home starting tomorrow, so that's going to be nice.
Oh yeah, except for 2 days a week, I think he said.
Yeah, so much safer.
Yeah, a lower chance of exposure.
Yeah.
And also less having to arrange transportation up and back.
Yeah, because poor Angel's
sure-
beat. She needs the rest.
I was gonna say, I bet that's been an adventure.
Well, she's on a night shift, so she's been driving him to and from work, and just sleep I think has been a problem for her, best as I can tell.
So I'm looking.
Yeah, everything gets easier.
Yeah, I hate working from home. I'll be honest with you, I hate it. I'm looking at this photo of the collection from 98, 99. That Metroplex was 12 years old, and I bought it off of eBay. I've paid $50 for it.
That's wild.
Which is about twice retail at that point. But it's the same one that I have now. So I've owned it for 22 years. And it seemed old to me when I bought it, and it was only 12 years old. Oh God, I'm dying soon.
No, I mean, I remember that context in the late '90s where anything G1 just felt ancient.
Oh, I see it. I see it. My knockoff, Raiden set. Yeah. Man, let me see if I can focus on that. Show that off. Shoot. That's in part somewhere in the bottom of bins. I need to undig that out. Man, that knockoff set goes for $300 or $400.
That's also kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you did say it was a pretty nice knockoff, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it's very high quality.
Yeah.
I wish we'd hear something about that Takara riding project.
Well, I imagine the thing
I'm
with
very
that is
curious.
COVID happened at about the same time they were going to actually, talk about whatever they were going to talk about.
Yeah.
And then they decided, you know what? Let's just wait a while.
Makes sense.
That would be and wasn't there a whole some kind of traveling train show that was the reel's going to be associated with?
Oh
I think I'm
yeah.
remembering that right. So I don't know whatever even happened with that because of the COVID stuff either.
Yeah, if the train show was canceled, they may have just waited on Raiden until it's back up and running again.
Yeah, I mean, this is all stuff I'm speculating out of the air, but it kind of makes sense that they might decide to back burner that for a little while.
Huh.
Somebody replied to my tweet with the picture of the Earthright stuff at Aldi, and I like this. I'm impressed by the transition from toys straight to wine bottles. Because the feature aisle in Aldi is on the opposite side from the alcohol aisle they installed in 2018. When they finally passed the law here that grocery stores could sell liquor.
Oh wow. Well, wine's not liquor, but
you still couldn't sell wine in a grocery store.
that's weird. We definitely
Tennessee, man.
I mean, in North Carolina.
Yeah, but Tennessee, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, so the first or second time I went to visit Mickey and stay a couple days there, he took me into Georgia one of those times to the Walmart just over the border, and it was the wildest thing walking in there and it wasn't even like a proper stack base or anything or a dump bin. It was literally a children's swimming pool on a table in the middle of the big aisle in front of the registers with little mini wine bottles stacked up in it. And that just seemed like the most Georgia of Georgia things. Now, mind you, in Illinois, of course, there's no problem selling wine or whatever in a grocery store. So, like, I had been used to that from seeing that from when I was very young. But, like, not having had that as a current thing in my life from the time we moved to Tennessee up until, that time in Georgia, and then when they changed the law here, like, going into just a regular store and seeing that was kind of... It felt weird. And of course, then Mickey kept taking me farther and farther into Georgia.
Did you start hearing banjos at some point?
I thought I was going to in that Walmart that first time. It's kind of how it felt.
I mean, nothing. I'm not trying to be evil against people that live in Georgia. It's just,
well, not all of them, but some of them. I mean, Ken lives in Georgia, so I can't be too kind.
Mm-mm.
Ken is our friend and a friend to all.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream.
Yeah, I think that's been quite a bit of post-show for our patrons.
Yeah. Hey, people watching live, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. You're awesome.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Everyone take care.